Good morning, Jayakumar.
Hi, good morning.
We can start now, I guess. People will join.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So hope you can see my screen now. So we are in day 6 and pending with a few functions in day 5 now. So we have covered till a logical function yesterday. So we want to start with a very important function, which is Vlookup, Hlookup, and index match. So lookup functions, we are going to see it at first. Okay. So first we will see the differences between Vlookup, Hlookup, and the advantages of Vlookup and Hlookups. And then I'll show you what are the ways that we can do it. Different way of doing a Vlookup, we have it. So first we will see what is Vlookup function, and then the comparison between Vlookup and Hlookup, we will see it. Okay. First, all lookup functions are used to do a matching purposes. Okay, so if you want to match some informations from the data set, so here with the help of a primary key, we are going to find it out. Okay, the primary key is either it should be a customer ID, a unique ID, or a mobile number, or an Aadhaar number, or a PAN card, whatever it may be. It is a unique number. A primary key will be available on both the sides. So based on that only, we are going to do a Vlookup, and we are going to retrieve some information from this file, from a big file. Okay, so now I have a data set here, which has almost 26 columns with 10,000 plus records. Okay, and now what I'm going to do with the help of this customer ID, I'm going to find a few columns: customer name, what is the customer state, and what is the product ID, and then the sales amount. Okay, this is what which I'm going to find it for, just for an example. Okay, and I'm just going to make a quick data set here for what I'm going to find it out. So from this, I'm going to pick a random IDs here. I'll take a random ID. I'm going to do a remove duplicates. Okay, now imagine we have 53 IDs are there. Okay, for these 53 customer IDs, I'm going to find a customer name, a state of the customer, a sales amount. Okay, just for example, 3 line items which I'm going to find it. Okay, so 3 columns for these customer IDs. So first, before applying a Vlookup, so we want to understand the nature of Vlookup, what it do, and what are the advantages we have doing with Vlookup, what are the disadvantages we have in Vlookup. So first we will discuss that one, and about the syntax also we will see it. So now the syntax of Vlookup has 4 arguments. As I said yesterday, we want to read the syntax at first and understand what are the arguments we have in Vlookup. Okay, first is like we have Vlookup with the table array. Okay, and then a lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. So there are 4 arguments are there in this Vlookup. So that is what we are going to see it. Okay, first one is lookup value. What is this lookup value? This is value what we are searching for. Okay, which means the value what we are searching here is customer ID. So the customer ID is the lookup value here. Okay, so this is what Vlookup, the first argument, you want to select the customer ID and then table array. Table array is like the database. So we already have a list of report or a record. We have almost 10,000 plus records, we have it. So the complete file we have, this is a report. Okay, so the table array is either a report or a database. And then we have a column index number. So the column index number is the value what we are searching for. Okay, for example, in this data set, I want 5th column, I want 7th column, I want 8th column, something like that I want to use with column numbers. So column what we want from the database. And last one is range lookup. So range lookup is like either you want to match the information in an exact way or approximate way. Approximate match. Okay, so there are two different way of matching. One is exact match or approximate match. So based on our information, we always prefer to go with exact match. Okay, that is true or false. Okay, so the true or false will be working like in Excel. If it is false, then it is 0. If it is true, then it is 1. So in Excel, you can use either 0 or false or true or 1. Okay, so that both will be acceptable. You can start using with Vlookup. And also, if you see the last one, the range lookup function, that range lookup alone comes under optional argument here. You have a square bracket of range lookup, which means you don't want to do it. If you don't apply any cells over there, it will automatically take as 0 only, as a false value only. By default, it takes it. Okay, so first, this will be used for a matching purposes. Okay, we are going to match it with the big report here. Otherwise called as simply, it is Ctrl F. It is a finding one. Okay, Ctrl F, finding a finding function. Okay, in case if I have only one item here, customer ID, only one customer ID is there, I'll just copy the customer ID. I'll go for a database and I'll search manually. This is a manual search which I'm doing it. If it is one item, then I can easily do it. I can just go and copy, paste my customer ID into my database. I can fill the values of the 3 customers, customer names, states, and sales in a very quick way. Right? I don't want to apply any formula here to waste my time. Okay, since I have only one ID, I can directly go and copy the information. I'll paste it and I'll search it and I can find out all the 3 informations in a very quick way. In case if I have 50,000 records or 500 records, I cannot search one by one by doing a Ctrl F. It takes a lot of time for me. That is why we are using a Vlookup function here to match the informations. Okay, so Vlookup has a lot of advantage and disadvantage. That is what we are going to see now. Any doubts so far about a Vlookup function? Okay, so Vlookup will be used for matching purposes, and also it will be with the help of advantage and disadvantage. We are going to see a complete nature of how Vlookup will work. Okay, so Vlookup with function advantages at first. Okay, so what are the advantages we have while using Vlookup? Okay, first one, always time saving. Okay, why? Because this is the most important advantage in Vlookup, time saving. Because if you have one record, we can manually go and copy and paste it. If I have 500 records here, I cannot do one by one manually. Instead of that, we are applying Vlookup to retrieve the information within 5 minutes. Okay, so time saving is the first advantage of doing Vlookup. Okay, and then second advantage, which exactly match the records. So it is matching the information exactly. We don't want to do recheck if we apply Vlookup. Okay, so it will match the values in a proper way. And then third, easy to apply. Okay, so very easy to apply it. We don't want to get any confusions here. I'm going to teach you the how 4 arguments which we are going to use it and where to use it. Okay, so very simply we can do it. And then we'll coming with a disadvantage part. Okay, there are so many disadvantages are there in Vlookup. Okay, so any one disadvantage is, do you know about it? What are the disadvantages that you are facing? What are the issues that you are facing in Vlookup? Any idea about it?
Hi Jay, this is Kanchan. It is like if you have the format should match in both the sides.
Exactly.
If it is not matching, say for example, the one format is in text and the other format is in number, it will not give you the result.
Exactly. So we have a formatting issue. That is the first one. And then what the disadvantage? Second.
Second would be there should be no space between the two
Exactly.
datas.
Exactly. So you must require to do a trimming at first of your primary key, and then you want to apply a VLOOKUP. Okay, and other three disadvantages are there more. Okay, which is very important. The first disadvantage is most important. This function will work only from left side to right side. Okay, this is the one major issues we have. Left to right side will only it will work. Okay, for example, if you have a customer ID which is on right hand side, then the VLOOKUP will not work. So we always require the primary key to be on the left hand side. From that only you want to do a VLOOKUP. Okay, this is one biggest disadvantage. We have it in Vlookup. And then the primary key, what I said, that is a lookup value. Okay, so this is the lookup value. So the lookup value must be on left hand side on both the table, both the sides. Okay, so the lookup value must be left side, and it would be the first column. Okay, for example, the value what we are searching, the lookup value will be first column in my finding area. Also, it should be in the report, it should be in the left hand side first column. Okay, most of the people will start from here. Okay, including a serial number they will apply it. Okay, if you do that, it won't work. So you want to always start from the primary key what you are searching for. Okay, so you must require the customer ID to be available from left hand side first column. In case you can see the customer ID is available on right hand side here again. If you have that in right hand side, you cannot apply VLOOKUP from right side to left side. Okay, this is one biggest disadvantage. We have it here. And then last, which is when you apply VLOOKUP, it always picks the first record. If you have a duplicate record, it will always pick the first record from the report. Okay, and you cannot pick the second one, third one, and all because this is a matching function. Okay, which is through a database only. So in database, we don't have any matching. We don't have any duplicate values. Always maintaining a single phase one. In case if you want to do a duplicate value, we want to do manual works to do it. Okay, with the help of helper column, we are performing to do it. Okay, so fine. First, these are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, first VLOOKUP will be a matching function. With the help of Ctrl F, we can do it. But since the number of records are very high, we are performing VLOOKUP function to retrieve the information what we require. And then the VLOOKUP function has 4 arguments. Lookup value means value what we are searching for. This is a lookup value. And then table array means my report. This is the entire report. And then we have a column index number. From this report, which column I require, that is most important thing. And then we are going with range lookup. You want exact match or approximate match. Okay, that you can do it. And then we have seen with advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are very easy to apply. Exact match will be acquired and time saving. Okay, 3 important advantages we have. And again, as I said, disadvantages, formatting issue will be there. As Kanchan said rightly, it will be started from both the sides on same text. Okay, it should be in a general. If it is general, then it should be in general. Okay, you cannot change any formatting, Excel formatting here. It should be in general in both the sides. And then the main disadvantage, it works from left side to right side only. Okay, and lookup value must be left hand side and the first column. Okay, the primary key will be on left hand side, first column as always. And then first record from the report, which means if I have many duplicate value in the primary key in my report, it will pick the first record. For example, this is a one which is a duplicate one. Okay, we have multiple records for this particular customer ID. If I do VLOOKUP, the sales value will be picked only with 48. Rest of the information will not be picked. In case if it is having a duplicate value here, first we want to perform a pivot table to make this into a group, and then we want to apply a VLOOKUP. Okay, so that is what the only solution to do it. Now I'm going to apply this VLOOKUP to do it, to check it. Okay, so any doubts so far? Hope you are clear about the advantage, disadvantage, and the functions and nature of this function.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now I'll go and apply this VLOOKUP. Okay, just see there are 2 different ways of applying this VLOOKUP. Okay, first way, without an absolute cell reference. Okay, without an absolute cell reference. Second one is with absolute cell reference. So there are two easiest way. Both are easy, which I'll tell you now. Simply, what is this absolute cell reference? We are making a cells with constant. Okay, we are applying a dollar symbol for the specific ranges. Okay, most will do the same thing. Okay, for example, I'm going to find a customer name here. Okay, so Vlookup. What is the lookup value? Lookup value is my customer ID. Okay, lookup value is my customer ID value what we are searching for. Comma, what is the table array? Okay, so which is my sheet number 1. I want to start from my customer ID only. Okay, I want to start from my customer ID. I should not start from my row ID. Okay, always the primary key will be the first column. That is the rule of this function. So first you can select this customer ID. Okay, and then you want to move till the customer name. So right now, this is my first column in my report. Second column, third column, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the customer name is available in the 7th column. Okay, 7th column. So I can use comma, my column index number as 7 because from this primary key, what is the column number is required? Okay, which column is I required? So primary key is the first one. From that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the customer name is available in 7. 7 comma exact match means false. You can apply that as 0. Okay, now you can see exactly it finds the customer name. Okay, this is the way of applying a Vlookup. Okay, so first you want to select the customer ID, that is the lookup value what we are looking for. And then you want to go for sheet number 1, that is the report we have it. Sheet number 1 from C1 to the entire data which I have selected till the customer name. And the customer name is available on the 7th column. Okay, for example, I'm going to do it again. See here, Vlookup. The customer name is the ID here, comma, table array. Table array is my report. The table array starts from the first primary key field. Okay, that is my customer ID field. Okay, from here I want to go with from customer ID, okay, to the customer name. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so which is available in 7th column. So 7, 0, exact match. So in that way, it will exactly identify it. Okay, so any doubts so far about this applying a Vlookup function? This is very important function in Excel. So if you have any doubts, please ask me at it in the same time.
Jay, this is Kanchan.
Yeah, please.
If suppose this data, I mean the data we are referring is in pivot table, would the output be the same? I mean,
it's in pivot table.
And
so not a problem. It will exactly match it. Not a problem.
Okay.
Fine. Okay, so now this is I have done with absolute cell reference. For example, what is this with absolute cell reference? Most of the people will do this one. Okay, they will start from C1 and then they will go with the last record and then they will match the column number. What they will do after applying this, simply they will drag it here. Okay, they will drag it here. You can see now all the customer ID, which is almost found. But the problem here is first one what I have selected C1 to I10003. When I come down here to rest of the things, you can see along with my lookup value, my table also moving continuously here. Okay, C6 to I10008. When I come down here, you can see it is went to C53 I10055, which means it will keep on moving one by one because I have selected from this record to this record. Okay, first after that it will keep on moving one by one like this. Okay, so the problem is in case this BH1117 okay, which is available again one more time. Okay, in this record you can see here this value will keep on moving it. Value will keep on moving it based on this one. It is 11710. For that the customer ID is Clarigute. But when I apply it here, it shows find a different name here. Okay, because it has multiple records over there. So you cannot find it exactly. The information will be in a wrong manner. Okay, the information will be in a wrong manner. So what you want to do now, you want to make sure always, if you are selecting like a range method from C1 to I10003 or C1 to H15, C1 to H49, something like that, if you are maintaining a range here, then you want to definitely go and apply absolute cell reference for this range without failing. Okay, you want to select this range and press F4 button to lock it. Okay, now I can see now C1 $sign and then I10003 with $sign, which is already applied here with absolute cell reference method. After that, you want to copy it. Now for this VH1170, the clarity it shows, but here the name is different here. Okay, now when I do dragging here, it exactly start finding the clarity again. Okay, so that is what most important. You want to check which information is available. Every time when you are selecting a range method, then you want to give this dollar symbol, absolute cell reference for a must one. Okay, without failing, you want to give it. In case if you forget to give this one, the results will be in the wrong manner. Okay, even though if it is the values available in the list, it cannot find the information. Okay, so you must do always go with updating your ranges table array with absolute cell reference. Okay, so any doubt so far about absolute cell reference? Okay, about without absolute cell reference, how to apply it. For example, without an absolute cell reference, this is the very easiest way of applying it. Okay, I usually prefer to go this way. Okay, there is no worry about this $sign. Okay, nothing. Directly we can apply it by selecting the entire column. Okay, that is the without absolute cell reference. We want to go for it. Okay, first Vlookup the customer ID, comma. Okay, I want to go for sheet number 1. I don't want to select a range here. I am going to select this entire column here, C column itself. Okay, from C column, what is the advantage here? See now, from C, I'll go for 2, which means that is the column index number. 2C it shows already. I want to move till customer name. Okay, the next one, 3C, third column, 4C, fourth column, and it keep on going. Now, the column number is 7C it's showing here. Okay, the column number is 7C. So you can directly go and select comma 7, comma 0. So you can exactly get the same value without doing any values. That is, you don't require any $sign for these type of selections. Okay, without an absolute cell reference, this is more easy for us to apply it. Okay, we don't want to go and select one by one. It takes a lot of time, and also applying a dollar symbol will be the very most important thing in this part. If you forget this one, then the answer will be in a wrong manner. Okay, so make sure you can go with this without $sign. Okay, without an absolute cell reference, directly select the entire column to update it. Okay, this is one way of doing. Now, next, 2 more columns which I am going to find it. Okay, see again, Vlookup, the lookup value, comma, I'll go for sheet number 1. Okay, I'm going to find a customer ID, the primary key, and then I want to select a state here. So state is available on 7th column is my customer name, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So the state column is available in 11C. Here you can see this shows with 11C. So now 11, 0. Okay, so the exact name for the state has been found. Okay, in a very quick way. And then sales column, I want to find it. Okay, again, I'll go for Vlookup. Vlookup, the customer ID, comma, the primary key to be selected. I'll go for a sales field now. So state is 11, and then I'm keep on moving to identify my state, my sales here. Okay, sales is in T column. It is in the 18th column here. You can see 18C it shows here. Okay, comma, 18, 0. So it is exactly found a sales amount for these customer IDs. Okay, so any doubts so far on applying these information?
Jay, Mamta here.
Yeah, please.
Jay, this is very clear how you applying the Vlookup without the absolute cell reference, whereas it considers the column reference rather than the row reference, right?
Exactly.
It has been very clear, but can you please explain with ABC cell reference, like when it's taking into a consideration a row reference?
Yeah.
Can you please go through that part once again, please?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll take a quick example here to understand.
Yeah, sure. Sure, please.
Okay, just for example, I'll be in a numeric way too easy to fill it. Okay, I'll just take a random employee ID. So I'll fill the experience randomly from 0 years to 20 years. And then again a level from 3 to 13. Okay, now I want to find an employee ID. Okay, I'm going to pick a random employee ID from this list. I'll go for a few employee IDs from this list. Okay, only this 3 employee ID. I'm going to find employee experience and level through our ABS method. Okay, so first I want to apply a Vlookup. I want to select an employee ID and I want to go for a table array, which is my range method. Okay, first I want to select this entire list, comma. My second ID is my employee references here. Okay, so I want to give a column index number 2, 0. Okay, now the range has been selected 20. I'll come down. You can see it exactly found it. The problem is when without selecting a cell references, without making an absolute cell references, what happened? First formula will start from C3 to E17. When I use the second one, now you can see it comes down automatically. It comes down and it fills with C4 to E18. Again, if you come down, you can see the formula will keep on moving because it works like a relative cell references only. So based on the first relationship, automatically the values will keep on moving. If it is case in this way, without dollar symbol, what happened? I'm going to find the first employee ID, which I'm going to update it here, which means it shows not applicable. Why? Because still the information is already available in my table, but the range of selection, which is wrong. Okay, you can see now for this employee ID, it is never started from the first 2. It comes down to the third onwards. Okay, because of our relative cell references. So that is why you want to make absolute cell reference to exactly match with this record. Okay, I'm going to find a experience again, including of absolute cell reference. So first go for customer employee ID, and then you want to make sure this table to be fixed. Okay, it is not in a floating method. You want to make sure this should be in a fixed method. Okay, by using absolute cell reference, we are making a constant value. Okay, C to E, 2, 0, second experience. Now, wherever the range I have applied it, the employee IDs are in a mixed way. Okay, if it is not in ascending order, also not a problem. It exactly finds the information. If you are not applying a dollar symbol in this list, then the record will keep on moving here. Right? Any doubt as of now?
Yes, Jay, very clear now. Why and where to do a dollar sign, because why it's important. Now understood very clearly and very well. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And that is why what I prefer to go, I never use any ranges here. I'll go for directly selecting the entire column, C, T, something, which means more easy for us to, without getting a doubt about this cell references, we can exactly match it. Okay, next, very important. Okay, this is Vlookup will be in another different way. This is called as array technique method. Okay, array technique. So first we'll see what is this array technique, and then we'll go with some example on live basis. Okay, for example, for these customer IDs, okay, for the same customer ID, 53 customer IDs are there, customer IDs. I'm going to find the same 3 column now. Okay, I'm going to find the same 3 column, which is my customer name, my sales and state. Okay, this is what I'm going to find it. State and sales. But this is array technique, as I said, array technique. What is the usage of this array technique? In Vlookup, we applied first customer name, and then we applied a state, and then we applied a sales. So 3 times we applied Vlookup. Okay, 3 times we applied Vlookup, and we have changed the column index number. For example, in this data set, what we happened, it is directly gone with selecting my customer field. From my customer ID, I have selected customer name in the 7th column. So my column index number, what I have selected, for example, customer name is 7, my is 11, my sales is 18. These are the customer index number, column index number, which I have updated for all these columns. Okay. So let's see what is a customer ID at first. Okay, for customer ID, what I can do, this array technique will help me to select all the columns at one time. Okay, for example, if you have 20 columns to find it out in Vlookup, we don't want to apply 20 Vlookup one by one. It takes a lot of time for us. So what I'm going to do, instead of this 20 column, I'm going to do a one Vlookup with the help of array technique. It is going to find all the value at one time. Okay, very simple and also very effective answers will be there. Okay, we don't want much time wasting on Vlookup for identifying 10 different columns. Instead of that 10 different columns, I'm going to apply only one. Okay, first array technique means, which is a technique in Excel, which reduces a lot of times for calculations. Okay, it avoids some manual steps and it brings the result in a very faster manner. Okay, that is an array technique. For example, we have separate array functions are there. A lot of array functions are there. Okay, I'll just go one example. Okay. Just imagine the price and quantity. Okay, I'm going to fix a random price for some products with 100 to 250 rupees. Okay, so these are the price for a product. And then I'm going to find a quantity for it, 1 to 20. 1 to 20. So now if I want to get my total sales, I want to use multiplication here to get my total sales value. Okay, so this is a normal way. People will do a normal way. Okay, this is 27,993. This is a normal multiplication which I have done. But with the help of array technique, what we can do, we don't want to apply these steps. Exactly, we can get this result here. This 27,993 in a single column based array, we can get it. Okay, for that there are a lot of functions which comes like an array technique functions in Excel. Okay, like sum product. Okay, this sum product is one of the array technique function. If you select here, it shows with array here. Okay, so which means the first array is my price, comma, the second array is my second array, is my quantity. Okay, and if I do these two things, when I hit enter, it will automatically find the same value here. I don't want to go and check this total sales. I can directly select my price and quantity to get my result. Okay, this is one of the array technique function in Excel called a sum product. Okay, and same like wherever the array technique we can use in multiple formulas with the help of Ctrl Shift Enter. Okay, for example, you want to press Ctrl Shift and Enter while applying a formula. Okay, I'll tell you now how to use this one and where to use this one. Okay, how Ctrl Shift Enter? For example, we are applying a Vlookup here. We are applying Vlookup. After filling all the information, we are pressing Enter simply. Okay, for normal functions, we want to press only Enter. When you are using array technique, we want to use Ctrl Shift Enter. Okay, Ctrl Shift Enter. That is more important. Okay, first, the only thing you required to apply this one. Okay, even I am going to take a few more columns here. Okay, just for example, after the sales, I'm going to find a quantity, discount and profit. Okay, this is 18th column. My sales is my 18th column. Quantity is 19, discount is 20, and profit is 21. Okay, so three more columns which I'm going to find it here. I'll just type okay, just a minute. Quantity, discount, and profit. Okay. And next is I want to find Okay, it is not responding. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, fine. We got it now. See, the customer name to profit, which we are going to find it in array technique method. Okay, so 7 is my customer column, state is my 11th column, sales is my 18th column, and then we have 19 this quantity, and then 20 is my discount, and 21 is my profit. This is what I'm going to find it. Okay, in the array technique method, you must require to know what are the column index number before applying the function. So you want to manually go and count this information. Okay, which column you require. That is most important thing. That is the only one manual work we want to do it. Okay, so first I already counted all the thing from 7, 11, 18, 19, 20, 21. These are the columns I required from this report. Okay, so I'm going to do only one single stretch of formula, which will automatically identify all the things in a single click. Okay, that is called the array technique method with Vlookup. First, simple one, do Vlookup and go for lookup value, comma, lookup value, comma. Okay, and sorry, before do that, so we are applying for all the functions here, for all the columns here. So I'll go for selecting all the column. That is most important thing. Okay, you want to select all the column what you require. If you are selecting for 10 columns, you can apply answer with 10. Okay, if you are going with finding with 20 columns, then you want to select the 20 columns to apply a VLOOKUP. Okay, after selecting, you can go for VLOOKUP, select this lookup value, comma, and go for a sheet. In sheet number 1, I'm going to select the entire thing from customer ID to the last one. Customer ID to the last one, C to Z. Okay, and now this is very important. See here, comma, comma. Here, there is only one option to select either one column index number. Okay, you cannot select multiple column index number in this normal function, normal VLOOKUP. But in array technique function, we can use a curly bracket here. If you want to do multiple column index number, you want to use the curly bracket. Okay, curly bracket, and I want to apply the number now. 7 I required, my customer column, and then 11 my state column, and then 18 my sales column, and then I want 19 quantity, I want 20 discount, I want 21. So what are the columns I required? I want to update all the columns. It should not be in aligned manner. You can do any zigzag here. Okay, there is no ascending and descending orders are here. You can apply anything that you required. What is the number that you displayed at first? That result will be picked first. Okay, so you can apply anything you required. So the applying a square bracket, and you can apply n number of multiple columns, column index numbers, and then closing with a close bracket again. Okay, with a square bracket. Okay, curly bracket. Now, comma, you want to update exact match, false match, and then close it. This is what most important. Okay, so any doubts so far what we have applied?
No, Jay.
Okay, now at last, very important thing. See here, after filling all this information, you want to press Ctrl Shift Enter. You should not press Enter. Okay, if you press Enter, then it works like a normal function. For all the array technique method, you want to press Ctrl Shift Enter. Now you can see when I press Ctrl Shift Enter, within one click, all the values are now founded. Okay, only simple thing, you can see this curly bracket which is in front of formula will be there, which means that comes under array technique. Now, when I drag it here, very easily it will found for all the information in the very single click. So we don't want to waste much time on calculating each and every column of VLOOKUP one by one. We can use this method, array technique method, to found all the information in a single click. Right? Any doubt as of now?
Jay, this can be also done with VLOOKUP match.
Yeah, VLOOKUP match also we can do it. So array technique, you just want to check it, okay, because some of the functions will not work under array. So you want to do some trial and we want to get it out. And also the other important thing, if you are done with array technique here, array technique function here, it will found all the information in a single click. If you want to try to delete something, you cannot delete it. You cannot delete the array with a single part of kind of thing. Okay, there is no option to delete your formula. So how to delete then? You want to delete the entire data set. If you delete all the entire thing, then it will get deleted. If you want to delete specific thing in this list, you cannot delete those things. Okay, you are not allowed to delete it because this comes under array technique. Right? Any doubt as of now about array technique? So this is very easy, where you want to select only the column index number. What are the column index number you required? Just make a note of it, and then you want to go for the square bracket, and then you can apply it.
Jay, once the formula is done, we can paste specialist as a value, right?
Exactly. Once it is done, you can go for paste special value. You can do with values, then the formula will be gone. Then you can delete it whatever you require.
Okay.
And next, very important, Hlookup. Okay, so how many of you have ever used with Hlookup? Where you have used it? Any one example where you have used with Hlookup function?
So I think we are using it when the data is arranged in a horizontal manner.
Exactly, horizontal manner. Okay, but I'll tell you very clearly how what is the difference between Vlookup and Hlookup, and where we can use this Hlookup function. Okay, so Vlookup stands for a vertical. Okay, because it shows like a column wise. Okay, it shows like a column wise, vertical wise. Okay, and Hlookup is like a horizontal lookup. Okay, which is in a row wise. It will tell you. Okay, the quick differences, if I want to show you, only in the third argument, we don't have any other differences in Vlookup and Hlookup. Okay, first Vlookup, my syntax, it shows exactly with column index number. Okay, if I go for Hlookup, it shows exactly a row index number. Okay, there is only one difference between Vlookup and Hlookup in the third argument. This is column index number, this is row index number. So column index number means you want to update column index number by column wise. Row index number means it shows with a row wise. Okay, you want to select the rows, number of rows here. Okay, and the difference is 80%, 80 to 90% of people will definitely done a Vlookup, but only 10% of people will do with Hlookup. Very rare scenario will be used in Hlookup. Even I know some of the companies, even 10 plus years are they working, still they don't have any option to use with Hlookup. Very rare to use it. Okay, why? Because I'll tell you now what is the reason for not using Hlookup. Many know about Hlookup, but they have not at all used it in their workstation. Okay, so because of the horizontal manner. Okay, first Vlookup, which is column wise. Horizontal lookup, which is row wise. The column wise we have, that is why we are identifying the column index number and we are updating the column index number in the function one by one. Okay, which means how many numbers of columns maximum we can use in a report. What is the maximum columns that you used in your report, in your company? Any approximate value? How many number of columns that you are using so far?
Max it will go for 30.
Okay, maximum 30, right? So that is a normal report. Okay, if you go and bring any company's report, it will be maximum of 30. That is what we have it. If you go for some big companies, they'll be using with maximum of 50 or 70. That is what even that is. I have seen a report with 89 columns and all. So that is the maximum which I have seen. Okay. So 89 columns are there, which means that is easy for us to count it. Okay, even it is 89, I can directly go and select by using a shift key. I can easily find it out. But what are the number of columns, number of rows will be used in a report? I have seen a report with 1 lakh record, 5 lakh record, 7 lakh record, which means the number of rows are highly used compared to column. So that is why we are using mostly with Vlookup. We are never used with a Hlookup. Why? Because again here we want to find the row index number to be updated. The row index number in this third column, I want to select row number 72,845, which means very difficult for us to count it. That is why Hlookup has never been used in many of the functions. Then where Hlookup will be used? You have a data set. You have a data set which has only 20 columns or only 20 rows. Okay, if it is only 20 rows, then this is a very small data set. For that, which is in horizontal manner, then we can do the Hlookup function. That is why we are not using Hlookup function to identify, to calculate the row index number. Most of the people, to identify this row number, they are using another function called match function. So with the help of match function, you can don't want to count it. Without counting manually, we can apply for it. Okay, so any doubt as of now about Hlookup?
No, Jay.
Okay, so now I'll show an example how this works. Okay, I'll take a random marks here. Student name. I'm going to find a random subject here. Okay, subject 1, subject 2. So I'm going to keep some 7 subjects here, for example. 7 subjects and then student name here. Okay, now 12 students are there with 7 subjects. I'm going to apply a random marks here from 10 marks to 100 marks. Okay, so these are the marks has been obtained by the students. Now, this is my data set. This is my data set, which has only 12 records, very minimum records. In this way, you can apply Hlookup. If you have more number of records, you cannot do it. For example, I want to find a subject 5 for the student number 11. Okay, student number 11. Student number 11 for the 5th subject, I want to get it. For example, this is for subject number 5, this is 11, then the value of that is 49. This is what I want to retrieve it here. Okay, now you can see Vlookup means we have selected from here and we have updated this way. Column wise we updated. But in Hlookup, we want to update in this way. Okay, so horizontal manner we want to update it. So for horizontal manner, the first column is subject 5. So from subject 5, I want to drag it here like this. Okay, see now, equal to Hlookup, my subject 5, comma, here I want to select, from here I want to manually count it. Now you can see 2R it shows. 2R means second row, 3R, 4R, which means 4th row. Now I want to check till my 11th student. This is in 12th, including header. This is my 12R it shows. Okay, which means I want to select my subject 5 to this list completely, and I want to update my row index number as 12 because my 12th row is available with the data of student 11. So when I do this one, exactly it found a 49 here. So which means here again, I want to select from this list to the entire thing I want to select it. If it is 12 row, I can easily count it. If I have 55 row, if I have 1,70,000 row, if I have 2,70,000 row, which means I cannot exactly count it here. I cannot apply my column index number here. Instead of 12, if I apply with 1,72,000 means it is very difficult for me to identify. That is why you require this data set to be in a very short, very small information means we can apply Hlookup, or else we are not applying any Vlookup function, Hlookup functions in your workstation. Okay, right? This is what the differences between Vlookup and Hlookup. So Hlookup will be never used only for 10%. If your information is a summary and it is in horizontal manner, then we can use it up. Right? Any doubt about the Hlookup function? Okay. Okay, next we are going with another important one is match and index. Match and index. So usually this match function and index function as always a combined function, joined together will work. Okay, because the result what it will retrieve, it will retrieve only the number numeric kind of a thing. Okay, numeric kind of thing. There are either you can apply a Vlookup, or you want to apply with column index number. Okay, column index number. For example, I'll go for this employee ID. I'm going to find that for this employee ID in two different way. Okay, with the help of Vlookup, I'm going to find the experience. With the help of index and match, I'm going to find a experience. Okay, so I'm going to find an experience for this employee ID 232444 for this employee ID, but I'm going to use two different functions. Okay, this is based on the user convenient. In case the index and match is quite difficult for you, you can use Vlookup also. In case Vlookup is bored, then you can go and jump with index and match. Okay, but both will give the same result. Either you can use Vlookup or index and match. Okay, there are some small differences will be there that I'll tell you why Vlookup is not much familiar like an index and match. Okay, index and match will be used by people who already know about Vlookup and differences between these two. Okay, so now I'll tell you so that you can understand it easily. First, I'll apply Vlookup to retrieve my experience here. So first my customer ID, my employee ID, and then I'll go for employee ID with the experience level, comma 2, 0. Now the employee ID has 20 years of experience for this employee ID. Okay, this is what we found it. That is correct. Next, index and match, which I'm going to apply it. So as I said, index and match, two different functions, we are going to combine it. This is called, in any function in Excel, one or more functions are joined together, which is called a nested function. Okay, nested function. Last class we have seen with nested if function. Only if function with multiple if function can be joined together. Now this is two different functions are joined together. Okay, this is called a nested function. Okay, so if error with Vlookup, that is a nested function. Okay, now the same thing which we are going to apply it, equal to index. Okay, you can see this index function. It asks you the reference array and then row number, column number. Okay, array means what it is. Array means the value what I want now. The result what I want now. The result I want experience. So I'm going to select this experience completely. The experience column completely I have selected. Okay, comma. After selecting this comma, you can see the row number, column number, which we want to manually apply it. Okay, the problem of this index column, index function, we want to apply the row number, column, index number manually. Okay, which take a lot of time for us. Okay, and also we cannot count the row number, column number manually. That is why we are using match function. Okay, after applying the result what I required, D column I required, I selected this one, comma, match function. In this match function, what is the lookup value? My employee ID. Match is similar to Vlookup, but as 3 argument only. Okay, so employee ID is my lookup function, lookup value, comma, what is the lookup array? My employee ID to be identified, C column alone. I don't want to select entire thing, only C is enough. Okay, C is enough, comma, exact match, 0. So 2 close bracket is required, and if I hit enter, it exactly found the same result. Okay, little complex one, index and match at first time. When you start practicing it, you will never use Vlookup. You will use only index and match. Why? Because index and match will have no directional constraint. It will work from left side to right side to left side. But Vlookup has constraint, it will work only from left side to right side. That is the first disadvantage. Sorry, differences. Second one, if you are applying for 50,000 record with Vlookup, you can find a small progress here. It will take a lot of time. It will take, Vlookup is processing with percentage, 2%, 3%, 4%. It will slowly go on. But when you compare to Vlookup, index and match is more faster. You can apply for index and match with 50,000 records. It will easily identify it without doing any progress rate. Okay, that is what the advantage of using index and match. Okay, so I will apply again this index and match. See now again, equal to index Array means the result what I want. Okay, for example, if I want level, then I want to select level column. If I want experience, then I want to select experience column. Okay, experience column, comma, the row number is the match function I'm going to use, match function, lookup value. Lookup value is my employee ID, comma, the lookup array is my employee ID again here. Okay, comma, 0. And then 2 close bracket, which exactly found. Now the reference you can see, I'll copy this employee ID. I'm going to put that in right hand side. Okay, which means the Vlookup will not work. Only the index column will work. Okay, that is the difference between Vlookup and Hlookup. So Vlookup will work only from left side to right side. Right side to left side, it won't work. That is the one disadvantage we have in Vlookup. So that can be overcome with the help of index and match. Right. So any doubt as of now about index and match? When you start practicing it, it will automatically comes, and slowly you can do with small examples at first, so that you can understand the differences between Vlookup and index and match. Okay, so now next, as I said, Vlookup and index match. Okay, so the lookup function, Vlookup has a disadvantage, as I said, left side to right side, but index and match, we don't have that one. Okay, right side to left side or left side to right side, it exactly find it out. Only thing where you required, you want to check it, either you can apply Vlookup or index and match. Okay, but in the now current situation, this is we are using with offline software. Okay, the Excel is offline software, offline application now. But in online Office 365, we have one more new function called Hlookup. Okay, how many of you heard about this Hlookup?
Yeah, Jay, we have heard about it.
Yeah, so the Hlookup will be available in Office 365 online version only. This is for a premium business professional suits, not for the normal desktop version. Even I don't have this one. Okay, for example, if I want to check, this is 2019 version, but still the Hlookup is not available here because this is an offline mode. Okay, I want to buy an online mode, Office 365, to get this Hlookup function. If you go for Hlookup, the 3 formulas are now vanished. We don't want to use anymore Vlookup, index and match. Instead of that, directly we can use the Hlookup function. Okay, these are the issues we have in this list. Vlookup will work left side to right side only. That is why now the Microsoft has released a new version with Hlookup function. To overcome all these issues, they replaced all these 3 formula and they included a new one called Hlookup. Okay, so that will be available only in Office 365. Okay, so any doubts so far about the lookup functions what we have seen? Okay, next we are going with a very important function, which is SUMIF, COUNTIF, and then SUMIFS, COUNTIFS. Okay, this is again plays a vital role in the functions. Okay, it helps you to update a summaries. That is what most important thing. Okay, now I have a small report here. Just see, this is an invoice report. The invoice number, invoice with what is the payment has been received, through which mode it has been received, and which day it is received, and from which region, and what is the amount. Okay, small data set here which I have taken. Now, this is completely in terms of a text-based report. Text-based report. Okay, but now what I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare a small dashboard report. Okay, dashboard report which I'm going to prepare. That is another sheet. Okay, I'm going to prepare it now. See, this is the dashboard report. I'm going to do it. Okay, this dashboard report. With the help of this information, I'm going to prepare a small dashboard. That dashboard in a text manner. For example, dashboard reports are just like a one pager, one slider. Okay, which means you want to see the all information in a single screen itself. Okay, in a single screen with summary based. Okay, now dashboard can be done with the help of summary text-based dashboard reports. Okay, this can be done with the help of function in Excel. Very simply, we don't want to use anything. Second thing, we can go with completely in terms of graphs, that is chart, graphical representations. Okay, graphical representations, which is completely in terms of charts and other data visualizations. And third thing, we can go with mixed options. So mixed dashboards. Mixed dashboard means it is available with number, text, graphs, and then charts. All those things will be available. So that is called a mixed dashboards. Okay, so now here I'm going to do with only summary text-based thing. Okay, this dashboard will get updated in a summary text-based based on this information. Okay, simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a 15 function here, 15 or 14 function here to update all the informations in a very easiest way. Okay, now this is text-based report. I don't want to present this report to my high-level management. Okay, they are expecting only summary kind of thing, dashboard kind of thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this dashboard report to exactly show all these information in a very effective manner. Okay, for that, I'm going to use a few functions here. One is count. Okay, and then we have count A, and then we are going to use with count blank, and then sum, average, minimum, maximum, and then count if, sum if, count IFS, sum IFS, and then we are going with large and small. Okay, this is a mixture of functions with statistical functions and mathematical functions, both combined together. And these 13 functions, which are otherwise called as reporting functions in Excel. Okay, reporting functions. To make a summary report, we can use these functions only. If you go for any summary based dashboard reports, you will definitely use these reports, these functions only in Excel. We should not use any other thing. Very rarely will we use with other functions. Okay, in which most important are count if, count IFS, sum if, sum IFS. Okay, and then count blanks and all. These are all are very important function. Wherever you go, the summary dashboard reports, text-based reports will consist of these functions only. Okay, first I'm going for my dashboard report. In this sheet, I'm going to remove a grid line. I'm going to make a small data visualizations here. Okay, first I'll take a small data visualization. I'll go for merging a column. I'm going to give a name here. Okay, this is the heading which I have given. So I'll go for some colors randomly. Okay, so any doubt so far about these functions? Any doubt so far what we have seen? Okay, so we can continue now. See, the payment dashboard report has been started. So I'm going to use the 13 function as I said. Okay, I can make any boxes if I required it. Okay, first I'll go for the count function. The count function will be used here. The first function is called count function, will be used to count it, the number of rows, the number of payment which I can count it. Okay, first for that, I'm going to make the total number of columns, total number of payments, total number of payment. Okay, total number of payment, which I'm going to find it through a function. And what is the function that I have used? That I can mention it here. Okay, count function. Now I can just make a small box here with the help of border. I'm going to find it here. Okay, now see the total count function which I'm going to use it. Count of open bracket, the value it shows, and it has 3 dots here, which means that is an infinity argument. You can select n number of things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sheet number 7. Directly, I'm going to select the payment method here. So the entire C column has been identified now. I'm not going to select any range here. Okay, I don't want this one because if the values get increased on the next day, I don't want to extend my range. That is why I'm going to select the entire column, C column here, to identify the total number of payment. Now you can see it shows exactly with 0. Why it shows with 0? What is the reason for it? Any idea about why it shows it 0? So what is the nature of count function? Anyone have ever used it?
It took 0 because it has a text value, no?
Exactly. So count function will not count any text functions here. It will count only the number related things. Okay. So that is why we have a difference between count and count A. Count means it will do only for number related columns. Okay. So right now I have selected with C column. The C column is consists of text based one. So which means it will not count. Okay. That is why it shows 0. So I want to select this E column. Sometimes your report doesn't have any in number related thing, which means you want to use the count A. Okay. So now I'm just changing that E column now. Instead of C, I'm going to make this as E because that is a number based column. Okay. So I'll go for deleting this one and I'll update with E. Now you can see the total number of payment received in this report is 372. This is what the first one, which I have identified with the help of count function. Okay. So this is first one. Now I'll just copy the same box. I'll go for one more a function which is called a count A function. Okay, count A function to identify the same payment through a text based one. If it is number based one, I'm using with only count function. If it is text based payments, then I want to use text based thing, count A equal to count A open bracket. Okay, and then I want to select my payment method. Okay, here this payment method, what happened? It shows with 373. Why? Because since my header column is there, even the header column has been counted because that is also in text method. So make sure if you are applying a count A function, always remove the header part. I'm just going to make -1 to match with my exact payments. So you should not use the header part here because that is also text. So the count A will count all the one. So count A will be used for any values in a cell. If it is a symbol or number or alphabet, whatever it may be, it exactly identified, it exactly counted. So if you have a report without amount column, then count A will be the suitable one for you to update it. Okay, so any doubts so far, the differences between count and count A? Any doubts so far what we have seen so far? Okay, now next we go with the count blank function. Okay, this is very important validation purpose function. Okay, we are going this function for validation. Okay, so which is data set validations. What validation we can do with the help of count blank? Simply, we are checking any blank rows are there in the list. That is what we are going to do it. Why that is important, which I'll tell you now. Okay, count blank. This is a function which is very easy, which asks you the range here. Range. This is the only function which has only one argument, range argument, only one argument. But you can select a range here. But if you go for other functions, you can select only one cell. But in this example, this is the only function which has a range methodology, which is in one character. That is one argument. So here, don't select the entire thing as I selected earlier. Don't select the entire thing because in C column, we have used till 372 only. Rest of the columns will put with 0. So that is the blank column. So don't use that one. In this range, you want to select the entire data set from A1 to E373. Okay, you want to select the range only here. You can see it shows 0. Why? Because there is no blank cells in my list in my data set as of now. This validation is must for me to do to send out any reports. Okay, in case if it is any blank in the list. Okay, for example, I forgot to update one region in my list. Since there is a very big report, I cannot identify where the blank is there. But when I go for dashboard report, exactly it shows one count here, which means my data set has one count of blank. You want to rectify that at first. After that, you want to send for a review. After that, you want to send for your iLearn management. So make sure this data set validation should always be 0 with the help of count blank. Okay, so if it is found with any one, then you are missing with one record. You want to manually update it, that one. Okay, you want to go and check and make sure this should be 0 as always. Okay, so any doubts so far about count blank? Okay, fine. Next we go with total number of value of the payment. So far we found the total payment, number of payment we have found it. Okay, now we are going with the value of the payment. Okay, so simply I'll select this information. So total value of the payment. So payments means value means always we use with some function equal to sum. Simply I'm going to select this is again 3 dots will come, which is my infinity argument. I'm going to directly with sum function with invoice amount. Okay, so sum function must required with a number based column. If you don't have any number based column, which you cannot apply it. Okay, so must make sure your data must match with your number related. Now the dashboard is started getting 4 different functions I have used, okay, to display all these things in summary based. Okay, now the advantage here is when I go and change these function with any value to be changed, the dashboard will get automatically updated. That is the advantage of using dashboards. Okay, summary text based dashboards. Okay, first I'll fill it with the rest of the function and then I'll go and show you with these informations. Okay, now next I'm going to find what is the highest payment I have received so far in my company. Okay, so the highest payment in my list. Okay, highest payment. For that, I'm going to use a function called maximum equal to maximum open bracket. I'm going to find the entire E column, maximum column. The highest payment I received in my company is 83,138. Okay, and the same way I'm going to copy the same thing, which is for least payment, low payment. Okay, low value. So least payment, we are going with minimum function. Okay, equal to minimum, and I'm going to find the least payment in my list, which comes exactly with 3138. Okay, so this is what the least payment in my list. Now, what is the average payment we have received in our company? Okay, so each and every invoice has an average payment. Okay, I'm going to find an average with the help of average function. I'm going to find the entire list in E column. All these 4 are very important. With the help of only a number based column, I can do it. If I don't have any number based column, then I cannot do it. Okay, average function. Okay, so any doubts so far about these functions? About the total sum, very simple function to identify the total value of the payment. And then highest payment, which is for the highest payment in my history. And then we have least payment in my history. And then we have an average payment in my history. Okay, so we can easily use and check these informations in a very quick way. Okay, now the 7 functions, basic functions, we have used it. Okay, the 7 functions we have used, very basic thing. From next 7, which is more important. Okay, we quite difficult, and with conditions we are going to update it. Now the 7th thing which as I updated, next I'll go for another function with some conditions here, which is called a countif function. Okay, countif function. Now, if my high level management is asking a question, what is the total number of payment? Which means I can easily see this report, I can say 372. What is the value of payment received? So far 97 lakh has been received. What is the average value? What is the least? What is the highest? Everything I can say it. But now they're asking, what are the regions we have and what is the value for that? And what are the payment method we have? What is the value for that? Which means totally 372 payment we received, that we know already. Out of this 372, how many cash payment has been received? This is what I want to check now. Okay, see 372 in which I want to select only the cash payment. So 56 cash payment received out of 372 in my record now. So I want to identify the count of payment with value. Okay, so that is why we are using a few function here. First, I'll go for payment method. Payment method. Okay, this is my payment method. Okay, the payment method. What are the payment method we have at first? That I want to pop it. Okay, first I'll go for a manual selection. Go for sheet number 7. I'll copy the payment method here. Okay, and I'm going to remove duplicates from this list. I'm going to remove a duplicate, which is in data tab. I'll go for remove duplicates. I'm going to select OK. Now we can see it has been removed. So 8 different payment methods are in my company where we are receiving a payment from a customers. Okay, I'm going to select this 8 and I'm going to update the 8 in my list. Okay, so any doubts so far about updating a payment method? So 8 payments are there for which I'm going to find the total count and payment one by one. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to find a counter function. Okay, counter function to update total number of payment exactly. And then we are going with SUMIF function to update it. Okay, COUNTIF and SUMIF. COUNTIF will help me to count a value with some condition. Totally 372, I know that. In which, how many NEFT, how many UPI, that is what I'm going to find. With the help of COUNTIF function, we can easily update it. Okay, this can be done in a pivot table only. If you want all these information summary, you must require to do pivot table. In case if you don't want it that in pivot table, then you can use these 14 functions to update it by very easiest way. Okay, now counter function, you can see now equal to count if, open bracket. It is 2 argument function. What is the range and what is the criteria? That is enough. Okay, the range is already available in my sheet number 7. The range is payment method. The range is payment method. In this payment method, comma, what are the criteria? Okay, criteria is my NEFT. Criteria is my NEFT, which I am going to select it here. In dashboard B70. Okay, so now when I hit enter, it says 40 payment received in NEFT. This is what it says exactly. Okay, now when I simply drag it for rest of the information, it will automatically identify. Okay, the total value of the payment is 372, which is exactly matching with my record. Okay, so this is very, very important function. Any doubt about a counter function now? In case if you have any doubt in counters, please let me know. Okay, so now we go with other thing. SUMIF function. So first we have seen with some COUNTIF. COUNTIF means which will show what is the count of payment. SUMIF means it will say what is the value of the payment. Okay, it will say what is the value of the payment. So first I'll go for a value. For that I want to use a SUMIF function. SUMIF. This is a 3 argument function. Okay, you want to select what is the range, what is the criteria, and then sum range. So 3 things I want to do it. Okay, what is the range here? Okay, range means I want to select my payment method, comma, what is the criteria? Criteria is my NEFT. As same like COUNTIF, we updated the same thing. Additionally, we want to add a sum range column. What is the sum range column? Our invoice amount. So I want to find my invoice amount to be selected. Okay, so 3 things which I have selected. See now, it shows with my C sheet number 7 C column, that is my payment method column, in which what is the payment that we have selected, NEFT, and then the invoice amount. So which means exactly it tells 12 lakh rupees has been received out of 97 lakh in NEFT. This is what it is found automatically. Okay, now with the help of, I'll show again now SUMIF function. You can go for equal to sum if open bracket. So 3 arguments are there. First you want to select the range. So range means I want to go for a which column, through a payment method column I'm going to do. So payment method, comma, and then what is the criteria for that? Criteria is my NEFT, comma, what is to be added? I want to add the invoice amount. Okay, because SUMIF means always it brings value. It will not do any count here. So you must require to select with one payment amount column. Okay, so amount column to be selected in number based. Now 12 lakh rupees has been received out of 97 lakh in NEFT payment alone. Okay, so when I drag it here, it exactly works and you can easily identify which payment method has received a lot of payment. To a cash payment, 56 payment received for 13 lakh, or UPI 38 payment with 14 lakh has been received so far. That is the highest one in my list, and least payment is IMPS 48 payment with 8,77,000. This is what it received. So within a quick minute, we found a table. Okay, we found a table, total number of payment method with what is the count it is, and then what is the sum it is. Okay, so easily we can apply it. If you want to apply this one, you require a pivot table to do it. But now with the help of this list, I can update my table in a very quick way. Okay, so this is what you can do it. Either you can apply a table or you can manually go and apply a border here. Okay, so any doubts so far about counters and summers? Okay, fine. Next, I think now we can take a quick break for 10 minutes. Okay, and then we'll go with rest of the two important functions, sum IFS, count IFS, and then large and small. Still the 4 functions are pending that we will see after the break. Okay, so we'll regroup again at 8:40. Okay, so we can start again with the rest of the functions. So now with condition, I'm going to do it. Okay, sum IFS, count IFS. So the difference between IF and IFS is, so IF means only one condition we can check at a time. Count IFS, one or more function. So now two functions, there is two conditions that I am going to do it. Sum IFS, count IFS. And then I'm going to identify with sum IFS. Okay, now see, I know 372 payment. Out of that, 56 is cash. So 56 out of 372 payments are there. We already know now. We found it with the help of COUNTIF and SUMIF. Now again with one more condition. In this 56, how many South region payments are there? So if I want to do manually, I'll go for manual filter in two different ways. Okay, first I'll go and select first filter with South region. And then I want to see cash payment here. Okay, in South region, we don't have cash at all. Okay, we don't have cash at all in this example. Okay, so now this is what I want to do. So 2 times I want to apply filter to identify this one. But instead of applying 2 times, I'll go with only South region. Now, see here, the region what I'm going to do, which is South region. And for this, I'm going to find it again. Okay, equal to count IFS. Okay, count IFS. First criteria, same thing that you want to use it. So criteria number 1 is my payment method. First, I want to select the payment method, comma, and then what is the payment? So if I close this with only one criteria, which means it returns the same result. So it returns the same count of result. So now we found 40. That is correct. Now the second criteria, I'm going to add it on top of that. Okay, second criteria is my region is South. Okay, so I'm going to select the region column in D column. Okay, in which what is the criteria? South. So I'm going to select area which I have typed already. So I'm going to select the South here. Now 12 payment received in NEFT in South region. This is what the result returns. Okay, now what I can do, if I want to drag this function, but unfortunately when I drag it here, you can see it shows 0. Why? Because the UPI has been found correctly. The sheet number 7, as I have selected full column only, but the last one, South region, here you can see the South region is in H17. Okay, which is in H17 now. So I want to make sure I want to use the absolute cell reference to lock it. So H16 it shows. Okay, so I want to press F5 button. Sorry, I want to press F4 button to update absolute cell reference for this range, because every time it want to see only South region. Okay, now just drag it. You can see exactly total number of payment received in South region, which is showing with 56. Okay, which is showing it 56 here, which is a South region payment it shows. As I said earlier, cash doesn't have South. That is why it put 0. Again, debit card. I think debit check payment, we don't have a South region. So it put 0 here automatically. So the advantage of using the South, which I have typed here with the help of this counter function, which is easy. Okay, so I'll be showing again. Just see, I'll go for count IFS, open bracket. First range is my payment method, comma, and I want to select payment type, comma. Second criteria. Okay, I'll go for my region, comma. I want to type my region. Okay, here I can type it also. In case if you want to type, you can type it also. But problem is you want to change the typing word every time. Okay, instead of H16, you want to type South also, equal to double quotes South, you can type it. But every time you want to change this region, that is why. Okay, now South region has been 12 in NEFT. I want to log this 816 alone. Okay, so 816 alone has been logged. So it comes with 12 payment. Now when I drag it here, it found all the information for the entire South region. Okay, now the advantage here is when I go and change this word as North, it exactly identifies for North region. If I go and type with West region, it exactly found for West region. Okay, the value will automatically get changed here because of a formula. Okay, for East region, it is 142 payment received. Okay, so this is what it exactly shows. Now, when I go and check East region, it shows 142. Okay, I'll do a cross check here. The formula will work 100% accuracy. 142 payment has been received in East region alone. Okay, in which manually I'll go and check cash payment. So in East alone, we have 28 cash payments are there. Okay, you can see exactly it's found 28. So it will never do a mistake. This is a one-time work. Okay, so far we took 30 to 40 minutes to complete this dashboard report. This is a one-time work. Once you did, from next day onwards, you don't want to do anything. Only your data set to be changed. If you change anything, automatically the dashboard will get updated. Okay, for example, the next day one payment received here. Okay, for example, the invoice amount is invoice day value is 268, which is in 38 2021. It comes in a cash payment and it is in South region, and the value of the payment is 25,000. Okay, this is what I have updated in my list now. When I updated, you can see exactly it changed. 373 has been changed. Okay, and the cash payment 56 is there at last time. Now it is considered as 57, and the value of the cash payment also has been increased. Okay, for example, I'll make this as a high payment, 1,25,000. You can see now it exactly comes with the highest payment in my list is 1,20,000. Without doing any changes, simply by adding a data set, automatically this dashboard will work. Okay, this is a one-time work. By seeing this dashboard report, I can answer almost 10 to 15 questions to my management. What are their asks? Simply I can share this report to them. By seeing this, they come to know about it. Okay, we don't want to explain more thing, interact with the high level management. Right? Any doubts so far about this dashboard? So I'll go with count IFS is completed. I'll go with sum IFS now. Okay, so sum IFS again the same thing. In East region, 20 payment is received. Out of 20, what is the value for that? Okay, always sum will bring a values. Okay, so values I'm going to find it now. Equal to sum IFS. What is the range? Range is my total amount. Okay, range is my total amount because that is what I'm going to add it. Comma, what is the first criteria? My payment method, comma, what is the payment? That is NEFT. Okay, if I do that one, what it happens? Only one criteria updated, so it shows the same result of my sum IFS. Okay, sum if. Now, one more condition I'm going to write, comma, the condition is East region. Now I want to identify. So go for the region column, comma, the region is East. Okay, now if you see 20 payment received in East, in NEFT, 20 payment received in East for this value. This is what it exactly shows. Okay, now I want to make sure this H16 to be logged because every time it want to see the only one column. If I extend this, it exactly find it out. Now 142 payment received in East region for value of 30 lakhs out of 98. Okay, now when I go and change here, I'm going to change this with South region. In South region, we have received 57 payment, but the value of the payment is only 14 lakh. Okay, simply when I go for a North region, you can see the value is 108 out of 33 payment, 33 lakh out of 98 will be received. So simply I can update this dashboard in a very easiest way. Everything will be in a summary mode. Okay, so now almost 12 functions that we have completed. Okay, we want to use the last two functions, large and small function. Okay, so any doubts so far what we have seen about this dashboard report functions? So these are very important. We want to do a lot of practice here. More important to use these functions in your workstation. Okay, any doubts so far? Yeah,
Jai, this
please.
is Kanchan. If I'm not wrong, there are some automated lines also that states about the overall report or summary. I don't know whether it's working. It works in Excel version. I mean, or it is working in 365 Office 365 version. If I'm not wrong, it's working in Office 365, but not over here. I'm not sure on this. Do you have any idea on this part?
Okay, see, usually the formulas are auto-updated in all the versions. Okay, so that is why I have linked with this entire column. For example, wherever I selected, I never selected a range here. I never use it. Why? Because if you go for a range based, then every time the dashboard consists, your ranges will be consisted with absolute cell references. Okay, so it takes a lot of time for you to extend the ranges. That is why I've selected the entire C column, entire E column, something like that. So if it is in a formula based kind of thing, then definitely, even if it is in Office 365 or in a normal Excel offline mode, it will be automated one. So you can easily get results in an automated way until you delete this formula, until you make this formula into a page special. Okay, don't do any page special work, because based on the information what you put in sheet number 7, that will be populated here into a summary in a very quick manner. Okay, so this is what it works on.
No, my question is different. It is like, okay, there are some lines that is directly been added looking up to this whole report. There is a text-based summary which comes automatically. I was talking about that.
Okay, maybe if you want, you can share your screen if you can. I'll just try to get it out.
It is available in Office 365.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not aware about it, I think. I just check with that. Maybe tomorrow we can try to address it.
No problem.
Okay, so you can just share a picture and we can try to see it, how it works and on.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, so now the counters and some IFS which exactly updated, and the 13 or 14 functions which we are going to complete it now. The last one, two statistical function which is called large and small. Okay, this is very simple one. I'll tell you. Okay, this is to find the topmost payment in my history. First topmost 10 or last 10, least 10 or highest 10. That I want to update it. That I want to check it. For that, we are using this large function and small function. Okay, so here I'll just update the nth time, that is first time, first payment, second payment, third payment, 4, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to fill only 10 payments here, just for example. Okay, 10 payments. So with the help of large function, I'm going to find the first largest payment. My first largest payment is already found, that is 1,25,000. With the help of large function, I can select second largest, third largest, fourth largest. Easily I can check up to n largest here. Okay, so that is why I've typed my nth value as 1 to 10. Now I'll go for large function. It asks you an array, comma k. K means the nth time, array means the value where we have. So I'll go for sheet number 7, and it is most required with a number based column. So the amount column, comma, k, which I am going to type 1 year. Okay, so now it shows the first highest payment is 1,25,000. When I drag it here, it will found for the topmost 10 payments in my history. First payment is 1,25,000, and then we have two payments with the same value, 8,31,000. Sorry, 83,138. Okay, something like that. It exactly takes based on the number of times. For example, if I want to find what is the 50th payment in my history, it shows 43,301. Okay, if I want to find what is the 150th value, 29,310. So easily I can use this large function to identify the total values. Okay, and same time, this is small means the least function will work. So small function will help me to identify the least one. Array which is my sheet number 7. I'll go and select the number, comma, and then the nth value. Okay, so the least payment is 3,138, which exactly works. And when I drag it, the 10 least payment which found here. Okay, all these are 10 least payment. So if I go and select any values, I'll be changing here with 1,500, which means exactly it will be updated in my least payment, and also the value will be updated here. Okay, so 3,500 will be the least payment in my list. So this is what, with the help of this 14 function, what I have done now, the text-based report has now converted into a dashboard report in a very quick manner. Okay, you can do a lot of alignments, data visualizations, designing work. After post completing all this work, you can start doing anything you require. That is based on our own perception. Okay, so any doubts so far about this payment thing, payment method? So the 14 function what we have used, which is more important for update any summary reports. Okay, any doubts so far about these payments now? The formulas what we have used in the payment report, which is more important. So please do practice about this. Okay, now the data visualization, which I'm planning to do for this one simple data visualizations for a text-based thing. Usually what people will do, they will apply with a graph charts. Okay, pie charts will be applied for this one. They will update it separately here. Okay, some of them are using with a charts based. Okay, for example, they will use with these type of thing. Okay, like they will go for a payment method and they will start updating the pie charts here. This is one way of showing it. Okay, now this is since in a formula, I guess. Okay, 1 minute, I'll check it. Okay, so we want to manually prepare a chart for this in a pie chart based or in a column based charts, and then we want to put that into my space area wherever I have space. This is one way of data visualizations. With the help of charts, we are doing it. But what other way that we can do? If you are using 2016 and above, we have a icon button here. Okay, so these icons are available from 2016 onwards. These icons are a visualization. Okay, visually represented. Small images like a button kind of a thing. Okay, you can extend the size also, but we can place this in anywhere in the Excel sheet. If you have image, if you have chart, or if you have any dashboard report, you can easily place a small visually communicated symbols. Okay, so I'm just going for this visualization. First, it required automated categories are there already. Okay, based on the category, you can go and select some visual icons here. Okay, so easy to select it. Just go and pick what you require. Okay, first, in the terms of analytics, I required a pie chart here. Just for example, I'm selecting it. And then I require small a speedometer kind of a thing. And then if you come down, there are so many other categories are there. Okay, RS category. And then we have building categories, business categories also there. Okay, so business category, I'm going to select few business category. Already 2 has been selected. Okay, I'll go for the second, third one. I'll go for the fourth one. I'll go for the fifth one. And then I'll go for some other one now. Okay, I'll just go down and I can select some symbols like this. Okay, so now almost 6 icons are selected now. I'm just going to insert this icon, selected 6 icons in my Excel sheet. Okay, now you can see all the 6 are highlighted here. By default, it comes with 2.54 centimeter. I'm just going to make that with 1.5 centimeter. Okay, even if it is 1, that is suitable for us to show it. Now, this is 1 which comes in a very small centimeters. I can go and place this at anywhere I require. Okay, this is to adding an additional visual aids for the dashboard reports, which help us to understand in a very easiest way. Okay, so I'm just going for a quick calculations to update it. Okay, which is relevant. If you want, you can go and take a relevant pictures, and based on that, you can update it. Okay, some small visualizations which I'm doing it now. Just for example, I'm doing it here. And you can extend the size also. If you required something to be celebration kind of a thing, then you can update those type of information. Another important thing, when I select this visualization, I will be getting one more tab called graphics format. Supporting tab will be there. You can go and change the color of this format in a very easiest way. Okay, so now this is turns to blue. I'm going this with orange color. I'm going this with green color. Okay, which is matching with my dashboard. And I'm going to change this with some blue color like this. Okay, so I can change my colors also, visualize colors also in a very easiest manner. Using this icon, I can update a lot of informations. Okay, visualize can be updated, and also you can extend the size of this visualization. For example, I want this to be in a very big size. Then I can use these type of big size also here. Just for example, okay, once it is, I'll just go for a color to be filled with a random colors to be filled here. Okay, ash color, which is like a washout method kind of a thing, which I have done. Now, once this is done here, it comes in front of your dashboard. Okay, I'll go for this graphics format. I'll send this backward now, send backward, which means it will go for a background area. Okay, so now you required an image for that to send it out. Okay, this is in a visual aids with a default image. You require a lot of image to send it out. Okay, like a watermark kind of a thing can be applied for the space wherever you require. You can select it, these icons, and change the colors with washout methods. Okay, so any doubt about this dashboard report? Adding a lot of visualizations you can download from online also about on icons. Okay, any doubts so far what we have seen?
So Jay, the dashboard means nothing, but you can customize as per your, you can customize the report based on your, the way you want to represent to the management, which is not
Exactly.
possible with the help of a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP just help to identify the certain values like duplicates you can find out, but with the help of a dashboard, you can prepare the report with the help of few functions as what you just correctly told right now to us about the count ifs. With the help of this few function, you can prepare the very lucrative report the way you want and customize with the help of a graphics and all. Is it right?
Exactly.
Okay. Very nice.
So with the help of VLOOKUP, we can't do any summary.
Exactly.
We required either a pivot table to make summary or these reports, these functions are to do it.
But either the pivot has a restriction, you can't make it like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and the best part is of the dashboard is it has a link with your source data file. So whatever the changes you do it in your source file, it will automatically get updated on your dashboard. So you don't have to do it manually, or you don't have to do it this whatever is auto updated everywhere in both the sheets.
Exactly. So if you go for a pivot table manner also, you want to refresh every time. You want to extend this data set every time. But here there is no such thing. You can just go and update it. For example, I'll just take this report again, a few information. I'll just manually copy it and I'll update it again now. I'll just extend the size now. Instead of 372, I just copied a 11 line items now. You can see exactly it is getting updated. So hence, you don't want to worry.
Management is more interested towards a dashboard rather than a VLOOKUP function, right?
Exactly.
And the pivot table. I got your point, Justice.
Exactly. And also the thing is, as I said earlier, the dashboard can be done in 3 different ways. Okay, that is what the first way is like text-based summary reports, text-based summary and graphical representation, and then next one. Even if you give along with some graphs here, okay, are only in terms of a graph here, which is very difficult to understand it. But mainly we focused on text-based means it is easy for them to understand. They're just like a self-service. They can see this report and they can understand by themselves. You can add one more dashboard for representing only with a chart-based. But chart-based also little complex to understand it. But if you are terms of with the help of these 14 functions, summary-based, it is easy for them to understand it.
It is readable. You can understand from the whatever you took it. It's readable. The text is readable, and to summarize, right?
Exactly. Okay, fine. Next, we go with another set of function, which is date and time functions, and then we have text functions will be there. Okay, that we will see it, and then we go with formula editing errors. Okay, now text-based dashboard reports that we have prepared. Now text function and date and time function. These 2 functions are there. Okay, which will be used to deal with dates and times in Microsoft Excel. Okay, which is very simple. I'll tell you now. Date and time functions. Only a few functions that we are going to see. Okay, date and time functions, which is very important to work to identify some small set of calculations or analysis we can do with the help of these functions. First is all dates are in Excel are not a date. That is a number. Okay, I have told in the Excel formatting in the first session itself. All dates are not a dates. All these are numbers. Okay, in case if you want to bring today's date, it is 12/11/2022, and the number of this one, when I convert that into a general format, you can see the number of today is 44,573. Why? Because it starts from 19th century, as I said earlier. Okay, 19th century. Okay, which means that is the first date in Excel. From that, it is keep on counting one by one. Okay, which comes here with 2022, which is a 44,573. Okay, so that is why all these are numbers. I can easily add anything I required. I can easily minus it, easily subtract or divide or multiplication, whatever I required, I can easily do it with the help of these functions. Okay, so in which very simple functions are there, which is starts from zero argument functions, which is called equal to now. This function will help me to show updating my timestamp in my Excel sheet. Okay, for example, you received a call, a complaint has been received. You want to note the out count line from whom it has been received, at what time it has been received. Okay, you can mention this equal to now function and then do page special value. Okay, because this is an automated function, like every time it will get auto refreshed. When I refresh now, after 9:10 it shows. When I open this file, it shows the current date of tomorrow's. Okay, so it will get auto populated. So you want to make sure after updating this now, you want to make with page special value to remove the formula. So which means it found the exact date of calling. The complaint received on 12th of January at 9:05. This is what exact time has been received. So you can easily make this timestamp with the help of now function. The same thing we can use with equal to today, which means it will bring only the today's date. Okay, you can use this today function in any of your summary report. For example, I'll take this dashboard report. Okay, I want to see what is the dashboard reporting date here. Okay, I can mention this reporting date here equal to today. Okay, and then with what happened, it shows with 12/1/2022. Okay, this if I open this dashboard tomorrow, it exactly shows 13/1. If I open day after tomorrow, it shows exactly 14/1. So I don't want to mention my date column in my any of the report. If it is daily changeable, I don't want to do it. I can use with today function. Okay, which means when I open this report tomorrow, it shows automatically tomorrow's date. Okay, I don't want to bother about my date in my reports. Okay, I can use this today function in a very easiest way. Same if you require time also, then you can press equal to now function, open bracket, close bracket. It shows both date and time, but I don't want time date here because date is already there. I want only time here, which means you can press Ctrl Shift 2 button. Ctrl Shift 2 button, which make custom time format. The time only will show here. Okay, 9:07. When I refresh next minute, it shows 9:08. When I open again, it shows 9:10. Something like that. Time and date will get auto updated with the help of these two functions, date and time function. I can place this date and time function in any of my report, dashboard report, or any other report at top areas. So it will be easy for me to auto refresh. I don't want to do any changes. Okay, that is why we are using with these two functions. These two are zero argument. We don't want to select any cells. Simply go and hit equal to now, open bracket, close bracket, equal to today, open bracket, close bracket. Okay, so which will automatically update it and auto populate it. Right? Any doubts so far about these two functions? Okay, next two important thing that we are going with. Okay, for example, a payment date is there. Okay, the payment date, and I want to see the differences. Okay, I have this example here, the invoice and payment date. I'll take this example. The invoice sent on 6th of June. Okay, I'll just change this one. 1st November 2021. Okay, and then I'm going to add one more day here. Okay, now you can see it shows with 19/11. We have so many payments are there. Okay, not a problem. So 1/11/2021. From that, I want to identify. I want to see what is it. What is the aging for this one? What is the aging for this one? Okay, aging means, as I said earlier, you want to do finding a differences between two dates. I have a start date here, but I don't have an end date here. So to identify this end date, we are using this today function. Okay, equal to today, which means today's date minus the invoice end date. If I do that, it comes with a date format here. Just go and change this date format to number, which means this invoice sent 72 days before, but still we are waiting for a payment for these invoices. So the aging can be easily identified with the help of today's minus G3. Why I have mentioned today here, which means if I open this report next day, automatically it turns to 73. Okay, if I update today's date in a hard-coded number, you want to change the date every day. That is why I update a function, today function, minus the invoice date sent function. Okay, which means automatically today's date will come here. So today's date minus G3, 72. If I open the same report tomorrow, it shows 73 and keep on it going on. Okay, till the value payment received, I can easily extend it also. Okay, that is the help of today we can do to identify the aging report. Aging means the differences. Now, okay, for example, you can see the project date. It starts on 1st of November 2021. Okay, and it ends in 31st March 2022. Okay, so now I want to find the duration of this date. This is my project start date. This is my end date. Okay, if I want to find the duration of the 2 dates, I can simply do minus subtraction. Okay, my highest date minus the least date, which means we are going to work in this project for 150 days. This is what I'm going to find it. Simply by minusing it, I can come to know 150 days we are going to work in this project. Okay, from 1st November to 31st March. But now what I'm going to do, in which we are on leave on Saturday, Sundays. Then how to exclude Saturday, Sundays from this list? Any idea about it? What is the formula to be used? I want to calculate only from Monday to Friday. I don't want to include Saturday, Sundays.
We have an option as weekday formula.
Sorry?
We have a function called weekday, right?
Okay, so we have network days here. So the network days comes under date and time function, network days. Okay, network days, which means these function will help me to avoid my holidays, Saturday, Sundays from this area. Okay, 150 days means my calendar days. This is my calendar days. So we are going to work with 150 calendar days from the project start date to end date. But with the help of network days function, what it happens? Network days, my start date is 1st of November, comma, the end date is 31st March, and then the holidays are optional. I don't want to give if you require. I'll just go and close it, which means I'm going to work only 109 days in this project for this period. Rest of the days are now holiday. Okay, so this is what I can easily use with the help of network days function, which help me to identify only the number of working days. Okay, so any doubts so far about this network days? Yeah, so I'm going to do again. With the help of networks days, what I can do, I'm going to find only the weekdays. Okay, not on weekends, only weekdays I'm going to do it. Okay, equal to network days. My start date is 1st of November, comma, my end date is 31st March. Okay, start date is 1st of November and end date is 31st March. So when I close it here, you can see now exactly shows 109 days is there. So which means rest of the days comes under Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so network days will help me to identify only the working days. But again, some problem will come. For example, if it is a US based software, this application, MS Excel application is built by a US. So that is why we have a default leave on Saturday, Sunday. But if you come for India, some people are working still Saturday, only Sunday is leave. Then how to exclude only Sunday in this list? Okay, we have one more formula, which is called network days international. Okay, this will be like international function, INTL. Okay, see here, equal to network days international, INTL. We can customize our weekend here. First start date is my 1st November. End date is my 31st March, comma, which weekend you want to select, which weekend you want to extend. You can exclude it. I want to exclude Saturday, Sunday, which is already there. I want to exclude only Sunday because Saturday also working in my country. If you are using in Dubai, if you are in Dubai, you want to select the 7th one, Friday and Saturday. Okay, if you are in Afghanistan, Thursday and Friday is leave for them. So you can use 6 here. Or if you are going for different country with different days, you can select this list very easily. Now we are in India, including Saturday we are working. So only Sunday is leave. So the code number is 11 I want to select. If I go for 11 here, it includes Saturday also. So only Sunday to be excluded from this list. So including Saturday, 130 days we are working for this project if it is in India. Right, so you can exclude your days very easily with the help of this network days function. Right, so next text function we are going to find it. Text function, for example, text can be used in different way. Yeah, please.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, tell me.
As you said that the code for the for excluding Saturdays,
Yeah.
sorry, for excluding Sundays 11. How can
Yes.
we see that code? Can you please reshow it? I mean, please
Yeah.
do the same.
Yeah, you can see now after selecting the first project date and end date, you want to select the weekend here. So the weekend will show only Sunday means 11. The code number 11 is there. Okay, so which means 1 means it is Saturday, Sunday. 2 means Sunday and Monday. And we have same 11th one. You can see now Sunday, only Sunday to be excluded. Which means 11 will come automatically.
Okay.
So Monday to Saturday will be added. Sunday only will be excluded. If you press the code number 11. Okay, next is like a text function. Okay, text function which will help me to add a text, and then we have a weekday, and then we have a week number. These three functions which we are going to see it. Text, weekday, and week number. Okay, text is like right now the 1st of November 2021. That is in a date format. Okay, that is in short date. Okay, now I want to see what day it is. 11th, 1st of November, either a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to find the day for this particular date. For that, we are using a text function here, equal to text, open bracket, equal to text, open bracket, the value means my date, comma, the format I required. Format I want to give that in double quotes. I required 3Ds here. Okay, 3D means it comes in a 3D short custom date format. If I go with that, now you can see it shows Monday. So 1st of November is Monday. Okay, this is what it shows. Now, if I want to check today's date, I'll put 12/1/2022. It is Wednesday. So exactly it is identifying. Now, when I drag it here, it automatically finds for the rest of the values. If I put 4Ds here, what happens? It comes completely into Wednesday. Full terms will come. Full Wednesday will come. If I put 3 here, then only Wednesday, WED, first 3 letter will come. So that is the help of text function. This text will help me to show my date into it along with date. Okay, this will be helpful for us to do it in terms of calculation with the date related things. The same thing with weekday. Weekday function also will do the same thing, but it returns the answer in a number based. Okay, for example, weekday, the serial number, I want to select only this. I'll go for this. It will come with a date format. I want to convert that into a general, which means 4. It returns the value between 1 to 7. 1 means Sunday, 7 means Saturday. Okay, so it returns the weekend starts default with Sunday as 1 and ends with Saturday. Okay, that is one weekday will do. So weekend, the text function will give a text-based result for the day, and the weekday will give a number-based result. Okay, from 1 to 7 it gives you. So 1 means Sunday, 7 means Saturday. By default it comes. You can use this weekday function also to check how many Sundays are in the list, how many Tuesdays are in the list, how many payments are received in Sundays. Even that also you can check it out. Okay, with the help of this weekday function. Next is week number. Okay, week number is to identify which week that is. Okay, week number. I can go with week number and I'm going to select the date. Simply, it shows week number with a date. I can convert that into a number mode, general mode. Now it is the 3rd week of this year, 2022. Okay, so now you can see 45th week of that one, which is 2nd of November 2021 is the 45th week of that year. Okay, so now we are in 3rd week of this year. Totally 52 weeks are there. It shows the number returns from 1 to 52. Okay, with the help of week number, we can identify in last week how many payments are received, how many invoices are processed, how many journals are processed. With the help of week number, we can easily identify weekly wise a report can be given with the help of this one. Once you did everything, you can update a pivot table for this report and see what is the week number and how much amount has been received. That also you can easily share with the help of this week number function. Right? Any doubts so far about this date functions? Okay, next very important thing. another very important function, which is called data diff function in date and time, which is called data diff. Data diff function. Okay, this is otherwise called as hidden function in Excel. Hidden function. Okay, why this is called as hidden function? Which means in Excel, when you type data diff, it won't be appear in the predefined functions. It won't appear in the predefined functions, but still it works. Okay, I'll tell you why it is. This is for calculating your services. Services are the service period or the time duration by year wise or month wise or day wise. So three options are there. You can calculate the service period, a time period, or durations. What are the durations? With the help of three options, either year, month, or date. All three you can do it. Okay, even this is otherwise called as age calculator in Excel. Okay, aging calculator. Okay, even you can find our age also with the help of this report. Okay, data diff function. Now, what I'll do an employee join date. Okay, for example, employee ID. I'll give a random ID here. Just for example, this employee ID joined in our company 17th May 2014, and still he is working in this organization. Okay, still he is working here. 12/1/2022, which means I want to see what is the service period for this employee. Okay, 17th May 14 that he has joined, and then still he is an alive. Okay, live employee. So 12 Jan 2022, I'm going to calculate it. Now, if I do a normal minus, it returns my date, returns with a number. This is totally 2,797 days he is working in our office. Okay, if I go with this Y365, it shows almost 7 years he is working, 7.6 years he is working. But we cannot exactly identify how many years, how many months, and how many dates. I cannot do those things. That is why we are using a data diff function to exactly identify those things. Okay, first, data diff can be applied with years, and then can be applied with months, and then it can be applied with days. Okay, first year I'm going to do. For that, I want to use a code number called Y. Okay, that I'll tell you where we use this code number and how we can use it. And then we are going to use with YM for month, and then MD for date. Okay, so year for Y and month for YM and days for MD. Okay, now equal to dated IF, which won't work, but when you go for open bracket, it start working. Okay, dated IF, open bracket. Now the start date, comma, the end date, comma, you want to use double quotes Y, which means year that you are going to find. Okay, simply starting date, employee join date, and today's date live, and then Y you want to say. If you go for that, now you can see it exactly found 7 years differences between these two. Data diff function will calculate me exactly saying that from 14 to January 22, it is 7 years now. Okay, next the same thing which I'm going to do, and I'm going to simply copy this formula and I'll put it down. Okay, or I can manually do it. Okay, dated IF, open bracket, dated IF, open bracket, my start date, comma, my end date, comma, double quotes, YM. For months, I want to type YM, which means now the difference is 7 months. So this employee is working 7 years, 7 months so far. Okay, the same thing which I'm going to find for days, equal to dated IF, open bracket, my start date, comma, my end date, comma, my code number is MD. Okay, so he working here with 7 years, 7 months, and 26 days he is working in our organization. So you can easily use this option to check the total years of experience. Okay, you can change anything. For example, I'm going to change here with he's joined into 2020. Okay, which means you can see 1 year, 7 months, 26 days. Okay, so easy for us to calculate this information, and you can make concatenate. Next, we are going to see text function. With the help of text function, we are going to concatenate that into a single cell. You can easily do concatenations here. Okay, so any doubts so far about this data diff function? This is one of the most important functions in data and time. Okay, so I'll be explaining again. So first you want to apply 3 codes here. Year means Y format, month means YM format, and then days means MD format. Okay, so simply start date and end date you want to select it. Okay, equal to data IF open bracket. Start date is my G7, end date is my 12th of January, comma, the code number is Y. Okay, I want to use that in double quotes, Y. Okay, which means 1 year. Okay, I can change any values here. For example, I'll change again with 2018, which means this employee working 3 years so far. 3 years. Okay, now I'll go for another function. Okay, I'll just copy the same thing. Data diff G7, H7, and then Y. This time instead of Y, I'll go the code number with YM. YM means month. YM means month. Start date is G7, end date is H7, and then YM we are using it. Okay, YM means month year. So 3 years, 7 months he is working in our organization. Okay, and then same thing, equal to data IF, open bracket. I'll go for start date, comma, end date, comma, double quotes, MD. So if I use that, it exactly works with 26. Okay, so this is easy for us to identify the aging calculators. Okay, so next we go with another set of text functions. Okay, this is very important. Text functions are used for data cleaning purposes. Okay, this is very important. As I said, text functions are mostly very simple functions. This is otherwise called as simple functions. Why? Because most of the text functions are only one argument. Okay, or we are going with only 2 arguments. Very rarely it has multiple arguments. Very rarely 2 and 3 or 4. Okay, it won't be a very toughest one, very easiest one. Okay, in which these functions are used for data cleaning purposes and data transforming. Data cleaning and transforming, which means with the help of these functions, we can change our data, we can edit our data through a formula mode. Okay, or we can clean our data. Okay, as I said, clean means it helps you to remove with trim function. Trim function can be removed to use it. Okay, and then what trim function will do? For example, you copy the information from online and paste it in an Excel sheet. Okay, it comes with some lot of spaces here. For example, Rahul space and then Dravid. Okay, if you see this record, it has been copied from online mode. It has lot of spaces on left hand side. It has lot of spaces on right hand side. Even more spaces on middle. Okay, this is one record which I have copied from online. So I have multiple spaces here. First, I want to see how many characters are there in this list. Equal to len, open bracket. As I said, only one argument. This is 26 characters it shows. But actually Rahul Dravid is, this is 5, this is 6. Totally 11 character only. But it shows it's 26 because of all the spaces are now included in the len function. Okay, len function will be used for a data validation. Okay, to check the number of characters for each and every cell. If you have a PAN card number column, check all the PAN card number must be 10 digit. If it is more than 10 digit, then it is a problem. Okay, that is invalid number. Okay, or it has some additional spaces. So you can easily use this len function to check mobile numbers, PAN card numbers, employee ID, or any reference number, which should be based on the character, it will be easily identified. Okay, len will be one of the best one to data validations. Next, we go with how to clean this function. For example, the spaces are there. I want to clean the function now. Okay, with the help of trim function, I'm going to use this cell E column to remove the unwanted spaces. Okay, so the trim, what it will do, it will automatically remove the unwanted items here. Okay, which is the unwanted spaces from left side, right side, and middle. It leaves only one space in the middle. With the help of trim function, it will automatically rectify my value. Okay, it will clean my value. Unwanted spaces are now has been removed. And it shows only one space with Rahul Dravid in middle, first name and last name. Now when I go and apply a len function, it exactly found the 12 characters, including the one space in middle, so it shows exactly 12. Right, so this is the first way of data cleaning you want to start. What are the informations that you have in a report? First thing, you want to apply a trim function. Okay, because you don't know where the exact space is there. For example, you have multiple records are there. Okay, I'll just do this. I'll just take this example, student 1 to student 12. Okay, student 1 to student 12, in which I'm going to include a small space here. I'm going to include a small space. After the 6, I'm going to leave some spaces. After this 11, I'm going to small spaces will be there. Okay, now the problem is where the spaces are there, I don't know. Okay, I cannot identify where the spaces are available because I cannot go and check one by one. It takes a lot of time for me. If I have 50,000 records, I can't go anything. I can't do anything. Okay, even len also I can do because this is a text-based column. If I do len, the numbers will be differs. If it is an alphabet-related column, which is very difficult to do a len function because that they keep on varies. If it is a primary key kind of a thing, PAN card number means 10, mobile number means 10, GST number it is 13, and the other number is 12, something like that. If it is a number-based column, easy for us to do it. But text-based column, we cannot identify. Okay, that is why we are using a function called search. Search is a function where we are using in a text function to identify where the spaces are there. Okay, now you can see how the search function will do. Very simple one. Equal to search. It shows 2 argument. Okay, last one is optional. Finding text. What is the value that we are going to find? Now we are going to find for a space one. Space, how to denote in Excel? Okay, you want to use double quotes, space, double quotes. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to search a space in this area. This is what my search function will do. Very simple one. Equal to search. What is the term that I'm going to search? And then where I'm going to search. That is one. Okay, and now close bracket and hit enter. Okay, it shows with the 8th one. 8th one means after student, if you have only one space, it shows. Okay, after one, we have a space here. So the problem is it will identify the space of the first one. Okay, and next, if you require one more thing, then you want to go for it. Okay, now when I drag it, it shows exactly with 8 always. Why? Because after student number 1, it has a additional space. Okay, so you want to skip this 8 and you want to do it. Okay, you want to either split a column with a text to columns over here. Okay, so you can use a find function also to return the same value. For example, the same formulas are there. I'll just delete it. Now I'm going to text-based columns. For example, you have a data called cleaning. Okay, cleaning. Okay, cleaning. If I hit enter, it shows value here. Why? Because we don't have any space in this list. We don't have any space at all. When I leave some spaces here, 2 spaces I have left, it will not count how many spaces, but it will show where the spaces is there, which means it shows 9. 9 means in my 9th character, the spaces are founded. That is why we are using search function. So if you use search function, it exactly say where the space is there. For example, now, which goes with my name, after that I leave some space, which means the space starts from 4th character. Okay, with the help of search function, we can easily identify where the space starts from your area. Okay, with the help of this, you can easily do a data cleaning. If any value is found here, 9 or 4 something, which means we have a space in the column. Okay, make sure you want to use the trim function to delete it. If you found the values, all these are values, this is one type of error in Excel. Wherever values comes, which means there is no space at all in the list. Okay, this is what, in case if I do F2, not typing any value, directly I leave some space, which means it shows the value of space starts from 1st character onwards. Okay, so search function or find function will exactly do identifying the spaces where it starts from. Okay, so make sure always use a trim function to clean it your text. Okay, and next we are very important with text join functions and concatenate functions. Okay, text functions. For text joining a text, we can use with function called concatenate. So how many of you ever used with this concatenate function? What concatenate symbol will be used to join it? Any idea about what is the concatenate function symbol to be used?
Hi Jay, this is Kanchan.
Yeah.
I'm not much aware of the symbol, but the formula is equal to concatenate, comma,
Yeah.
the range you want to concatenate the different text and
Exactly.
bracket close. Yeah.
Exactly. See, this function will use for to joining a text, to joining at multiple text here. Okay. For that, we are using a symbol called ampersand and symbol. Okay. If you have two dates are there, for example, we are going with Rahul Dravid. Okay. So two names are there, first name and last name. I want to join this two name here, for which I can simply go with first name and second name. If I do that, exactly it gets joined. That is why we are using concatenate function to join together. Okay, but problem is it will join without a space. So we want to add a space here. So I want to include a space in this one to update it. Okay, so this is one way of joining a cell. So concatenate will help me to include, to join multiple cells into a single cell, merging a cell. With symbols also we can do it. For example, if I want to do the same thing with symbol, I want to use a symbol here equal to the first one and double quotes space or double quotes slash double quotes. Okay, so this is the symbol which I'm using. As I said earlier in the formula rule, if you are using any alphabets or symbols, you want to use that in double quotes. So and double quotes slash double quotes and then the last name, which means you can see the first name slash second name, it comes automatically. So you can use this method to join your cells, multiple columns into a single column. Okay, so that is why we are using concatenate function. This can be used, this is the formula mode of thing which I have applied. I never used a predefined function, I used an operator here. Okay, but if I want that to be in a concatenate function mode, simply I can go for concatenate. Okay, text one is my Rahul, comma, what is the text two? I have a space here, so double quotes space double quotes, that is the text two, and then third is my Dravid. Okay, so last name. So it will use this concatenate function also to join your cells in the easiest way. Okay, so this is for text joining purposes. So next we are going with text splitting function. Okay, we have three different text split functions. Okay, I'll just make a random numbers here. Okay, just for example, I'll update this information. I'll randomly change it. So this is a PAN card number, okay, with 10 characters are there. Now, with the help of this, I'm using a three different function now. Three different function. One is called left function. And then we are going to use with right function. And then we are going to do with middle function. So this is my text. I want to split this text into a multiple characters. Okay, from left side, right side, and middle side. Three that I am going to cut it. At above what we have seen, this concatenate function for joining purpose we have seen it. These three functions for split your data. For splitting your data, we are using with. Okay, so left side I want to do first equal to left of open bracket, the text I want to do text, comma, how many characters is required. For example, from left hand side, I require 3 characters here. Okay, I'm going to cut only the 3 characters. So from left hand side, it exactly cuts the 3 characters. Okay, for example, I'm going and change the last one, DDA. You can see exactly it comes with DDA. So if you have the information to be split, then you want to use this 3 function to cut it. Okay, left function, right function, and middle function to exactly remove it. Now right hand side equal to right function, open bracket, the text I want to select, comma, the number of characters. So I want to cut 4 characters from right hand side, which means exactly the 4 characters will come here. Okay, so 4 characters will come, 915k, which exactly comes here. Okay, if I want 5 characters from left hand side, it exactly works. 5 characters from, sorry, right hand side. Now 5, which exactly works. Okay, 5915k. Now I'm last right 5 has been removed. First left 3 has been removed. Middle function will help me to get the middle value. Okay, for example, PK, that is what I want to get it now. PK means my 4th character and 5th character. Only the 2 characters which I want to split now. Rest of the information has been removed. Okay, equal to left are equal to middle function, first my text will be asked. Text is my PAN card number, comma, the start number. Start number is from where I want to start. I want to start from 4th character because already 3 characters are done with the help of left function. Okay, so it starts from 4th character, comma, from that how many characters I required? 4 and 5, only 2 characters are required. So only 4 and 5, which is 4, comma, 2. So which means exactly it splits my 4th and 5th characters from the list. Okay, so these 3 functions will help me to cut my data in 3 different areas, either left, right, or middle. We can use this function to split your data based on our requirement. For example, we can use this for account numbers, mobile numbers, any sensitive information about an employee, about a reference numbers. You don't want to show all those things. Okay, for example, randomly I'll update this is account number, for example. Okay, I don't want to show this account number in a full length manner. I want to show only the last 4 characters of my account number, which means I can use a write function, write off my 4 characters. So only the last 4 characters of my account number will be shown. Okay, rest of the things I want to add an asterisk. So I can use this asterisk symbol very easily, and I want to update this 2 thing. Okay, and after finding this write function, I can manually type my stars and then I can join it. For joining, concatenate is more important. So and symbol and then last 4 numbers. So I can use this method first to split my data and then I can join my data with the help of star here. So we can use this masking access with the help of left function, right function, middle function, and concatenate. So joining a cells means we are using with concatenate. Splitting a data, we are using with left, right, and middle. Right? So any doubts so far about a text function? Okay, next last 3 text function, which is called as case sensitive functions. Okay, case sensitive, which means it's convert my data set into uppercase, lowercase, or proper case. Very simple 1 argument function. As I said, all these are very simple functions with 1 argument or 2 argument only. Okay, now this is my date. I'm going to use a upper function, a lower function, and proper function. Okay, so right now equal to upper. This is all 3 are 1 argument. Very simple functions. Okay, arguments to be selected only 1 text. So it will convert my all data into a uppercase. In case if you have a customer list, you want to convert all the customer into a capital letter, then you can use this upper function to automatically calculate it. Okay, if you are using with Word, we have a shortcut key, Shift F3. That will convert all my customer names into a capital letter by its own. Okay, but in Excel, we don't have such shortcut key. We have a formula to perform. That is why we are using text function here to perform it. Okay, so text function will help me to exactly convert my date into a uppercase. And then we have lowercase also. Lowercase means all my data set will be converted into a lowercase. Okay, so like equal to lowercase with Rahul Dravid. Now you can see all the informations are in down. Okay, lowercase. Same way we are going with proper case. Proper case means this is what a proper case. The first letter of each word will comes in the capital letter. Okay, so proper case. First letter of all the words will come in capital letter. For example, I'm changing here with Sachin Tendulkar. That is in lowercase now, but you can see here automatically S is caps and T is caps. Okay, so you can use this method, proper case method, for updating any values. So these are the text functions. As I said earlier, text functions are used for data cleaning and data transformations. Now this is our data we are transforming into our own requirement. Okay, with the help of these functions, almost 10 functions and above we have seen in the text functions. All these are very simple functions. Only 1 argument or 2 argument. Okay, maximum of 3 argument it will be there. You can easily use these functions for data cleaning and data transformations. Okay, so any doubt other than this in a text functions? Yeah, I'm explaining trim function again. Okay, so trim function will help me to clear my data, unwanted spaces. Okay, so if I have some information which is copied from online, okay, for example, data mining. Okay, this is the word which I have copied from online, and I have some spaces here. I have some spaces here. I have a spaces here. You can see now the function has the small text has a lot of space gaps here at last. Okay, when I go and check this len function, it shows with 17 characters, but here it is not a 17 characters, maximum of 10 characters we have it. So we want to remove the unwanted space now. We want to remove the unwanted space. Okay, for that, we are using a trim function. When I use trim function, remove all spaces from a text string except for single space between the words. Okay, so now we have data, one space and then mining. Between the words, it will not remove any spaces. It will leave only one spaces, single space. Rest of all the area what we have spaces that can be removed. Okay, now you can see after applying the trim function, data mining, which comes under only 11 characters, because 6 more spaces are there. 6 spaces are in the list that has been now removed. Okay, so this is what it exactly helps. So trim will be more effective function. You can use it for data cleaning purposes as always. Okay, so you can use this trim function whenever you start doing analysis. First, make sure check for spaces and do a trim function, clear unwanted spaces, and then start working on it, because it avoids a manual error. It brings a 100% accuracy in your report. Okay, so start using these functions in your reports. Okay, now next. So we have completed almost these text functions and data intent functions. We are entering into an audit now. Okay, as I said, audit, what we can do with the help of formula audit. Okay, now formula audits are very simple. You have under formula tab, you have an audit here. Okay, audit groups will be there. You can check with where the formula comes from, where it goes from, and then we can show a formula here with the error to be handled. Okay, I'll tell you one by one now. As I said earlier, we have 8 types of error in Excel. Error types. If you want to see those, just go for error.type. Okay, you can see all these errors are occur. Okay, null error, value error. If you see value error, we found in search function now. Not applicable will come in Vlookup. Name error means it is a wrong error. So these type of errors will occur very frequently in Excel. So we want to avoid these error at first. Okay, first to avoid an error, we are using with if error function. We already seen the if error function will avoid an error. Okay, this is one way of avoiding it. And second thing, we have 2 different types of error. One is syntax error. Syntax error means you cannot apply any function. While applying a function itself, it shows some error. Okay, for example, you missed with arguments. Missed to update arguments correctly. This is one scenario which will occur. Or else we are missing with some commas, missing with operators. Okay, which is comma, or we are using with double quotes, or we are missing with closing parenthesis. All those things we are missing with that. So these are returns with syntax error. For example, if you go and type some value, here it is fine text will be there. You want to select some cell and then you want to search for a value that. Okay, for example, I'm going to find this cell, comma, in which what is the value I'm going to find? Double quotes, error. This is the word which I'm going to find it. Double quotes, error. I'm going to find this word. But instead of error, I'm not doing any double quotes here. Directly I'm using without a double quotes. And then I'm going to search for this area. Okay, which means it shows name error, right? Because we have missed with this one. Double quotes is missed with one. Okay, these are our syntax error kind of a thing, which will not allow you to do it. Okay, and second is runtime error. Runtime error is there are so many errors. We have seen all the 8 types of error that comes under runtime error. When you do Vlookup, the Vlookup will work, but finally it returns with not applicable, which means That is a runtime error. Okay, your formula is processed, it is calculated, but finally it gives the result with not applicable, which means the error not in a syntax, it is a runtime error. Okay, this is what it shows on. Now this can be audited through a formula based. For example, I have a number now. I have an invoice amount now. For example, I'll go with 1,000 to 10,000 as randomly. This is my total value. This is my total value. I'm going to make a sum function here. I'm going to make a sum function here. I'm going to add all these values now. Okay, 52,203. When I use this trace precedent option, you can see exactly it created an automated line. When I with precedence can be clicked, it shows what is this value and where does it come from. So it automatically creates a box and it creates a line and understanding where this formula from. Okay, mostly it is very simple function only. Sum function of F2, F3. We are going to see this with ranges. Okay, instead of seeing this ranges, whenever you get in a formula file, first go and click this precedence, which means where are the formulas for, where does it come from. Easy for us to see this through the arrow method. Okay, and same thing from here, what I can do with the help of precedence will be there. From here, I can check. For example, 52,203. From here, I'm going to check with 10% of my value is 5.52. 5.52. When I go with precedent, it exactly find it out from where it is working on. Okay, where does it come from? See now, when I go with the dependent, this 52,203 is dependent with this value. Okay, you can easily get this precedence and dependence based on the dependence. Also, you can based on the calculation what you did, it works. But what other way we are doing? Very simply, we are going to this formula bar and we are checking where does it come from. Okay, this arrows will help us to easily understanding about where does it come from. Okay, without reading your formula bar, we can go and check from where it comes from. That we can easily do it. That is why we are using the formula to be audited. And if you go with the formula, show formula option also. Show formula option means what is the formulas are there in this sheet. All those will show in a formula way. Okay, it shows not like a result, it shows like a formula based. What formula they have applied it. That can be seen in your formula bar itself. Sometimes your formula bar is missing. Then you can use this show formula bar to see what is the formula has been applied for that. Okay, that is why we are using with formula audit. And in which one common errors are there, other error. What is that? That is called circular reference error. So how many of you here acquired with these type of circular reference error? When you open this file itself, it shows on a message notification saying that this file consists of a formula with circular references error. Okay, how many of you ever acquired these type of errors in your workstation? Have you ever seen this circular references error? Okay, see now, how does this circular references error will come? First, I'll make the circular reference error and then I'll show you. First, you want to go for error checking, and under error checking, you can find the circular reference error will be there. Okay, this circular reference error are not available now. It is disabled. Why? Because in this Excel sheet, we don't have any circular reference error. If you have circular reference error only, it shows one. Okay, now I'll go for a new sheet. New sheet. I'm going to copy the same record here. The same record, I'm going to copy it. Okay, I'm going to make a sum function equal to sum and my total range here. Okay, total range here. Now, how does this circular reference error occurs? You are adding the range, extending, including a formula area. For example, the formula has been applied in this box in G16. Okay, but what happened? Including that G16 has been added in the list. If I do that, now you can show it shows with 0 and also the error will be acquired. It will not show any error in the cell. It shows the return with zeros only. Okay, but when I go for formula bar, in the formula session, you can see error checking with circular reference error is now on. Okay, it is enabled and it shows with G16. Okay, and also the left side corner, you can see at status bar below, it shows G16 cell here, which means we are acquired with only one type of error, that is circular reference error, which is available in G16. So now you want to clear that one. So wherever the circular reference error comes, which means you are adding the range extending till to the formula session. Okay, so now when I want to do F2, I want to manually change my range to be modified. Now the range has been modified. If you see, the formula has removed circular reference error now. Okay, so circular reference error means simple error which you are adding additional range of your data set, including a formula area, you are selecting it. Okay, that is called a circular references error. Right? So any doubt so far about the circular references error? Okay, so okay, next, like a name manager and new function UDF creations. Okay, UDF creations. First, I'll tell you what is UDF. Maybe based on the time, maybe we can see the UDFs about tomorrow in in-depth about it. First, I'll give an overview about what is UDF today. UDF means user defined function. Okay, user defined function, which means already predefined functions are there in Excel. Almost 500 plus functions are there. But what Excel will do, Excel will allow me to type my own formula. Okay, for example, with the help of Visual Basic Application, VBA, programming code, okay, you can create your own formulas. So we have seen one formula called RS words in the Excel add-in file. RS words we have seen in the first class. That is through a VBA code that is called a user-defined function. Okay, we can create our own function here. For example, I have created one own function in my Excel sheet, which means you want to use with UDF. Okay, user defined. With the help of Visual Basic Application, we can create our own functions, whatever we require. Okay, you can see a custom date function is there. This custom date function is available only in my system. It is available only in my system because I have created one macro. I have created one VBA macro to show this custom date. Okay, it is available only in my system, which I have created by myself. Okay, as same like you can create the functions what you require by your own. New formulas also to be included in Microsoft Excel with the help of Excel add-in. So we want to create a user-defined functions. So tomorrow, that is what we are going to see. Tomorrow we are going to see with a very important thing, Power Pivot, data modeling, and then about macros. Okay, so these things that we are going to cover it. Okay, so in which we are going to show what is UDF also, how to create a new function with the help of VBA macro code. Okay, that is what we are going to see it. So far, any doubts what we have covered so far in the last six days? So we have almost completed the 6 days and still waiting for only one day. Tomorrow will be the last day for us. So any doubts so far what we have seen?
Jay, I have a general query. Okay,
yeah, please.
So I have downloaded report from an other tool.
Okay.
So which has a default date format.
Okay.
Okay, and I have selected the entire cell and I have changed the format into whichever I needed. Even though if I'm doing it, I'm not getting it corrected.
Okay, so why? Because either it starts with any dot separator in a date, or the date what you have downloaded, which is through a systematic thing. Like for example, if you are using some biometric attendance for a company, if the biometric will capture all the information, that will be converted into a text manner. Even though the date format is available in the column, it is not a date, it is a text-based one. So that is why what are the changes that you are doing to trying to convert as your requirement, it is not occurring. So what in that case, we want to apply a separate function to convert those things into a date format.
Okay, I got your point, but for example, after changing the format, I need to go into each cell. I need to double click it. When I enter, it is getting into the new format.
Okay, that is what maybe because of some formatting issue only will be there. Okay, first you can try with a date format. For example, I have a today's date here. Okay, today's date here. You can go with this data tab, and first you can use this text to column and convert that the delimited option with the help of delimited. You can go with any date format. Here you can change it. The date will be available with date MY. You can change that with MDY, which means that can be converted into a different manner. Okay, that is one way of converting your dates with a custom options. Or we want to perform separately. We want to segregate it first. First, we want to use with day. I will go with day option here. That is the first formula, which helps only to return with my date. And then I want to remove my month from this list. Okay, that is first month. And then I want to use the year function to remove only year from this list. So I want to use this tree formula to split my date, month, and year separately. After that, I can, with the help of concatenate function, I can manually join it. Okay, this is one way of changing it. But most probably, what are the dates we have? First, you can see the format of the dates and try to convert that into a date format or general format. Then only we can do it.
So this is with date. Okay. The same issue if I have for an text. Okay. Some data I have received. I just it is in a general format. I'm trying to convert it to text format. So
Okay.
considering you have 10 rows, but I don't see the changes. Every time I need to go and double click on each cell to change into the new format. In that case also, can I use this text to column? Will that work or?
Yeah, text to column will be work in that one.
Fine.
You can try with text to column. Yeah. If you have any doubts, you can reach me.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Okay, so about this files and everything, I have already shared to Lakshmi. Maybe she is already forwarded all the dates to your HR department. Okay, in case if it is not a problem, I'll be saving all the files in my folder. Okay, tomorrow I'll be going to zip all these things and I'll try to share it in the chat box itself. But I think chat box is I'm unable to share. I think let's see it how far I can do it, or else I can put all the informations again to Lakshmi. She'll be forwarding to you. Okay, and also today you'll be getting two or three more files, which is for a practice purposes alone. Okay, it is an Excel practice workbook which I have already shared. Okay, hope you are getting it today. You can start working those practice files. Okay, it consists of some certain questions. Okay, about a pivot table, about a if condition, and then about a what if analysis. Okay, all those things will be there. So it consists of almost 10 to 15 questions, I guess. Okay, I'm not sure about it. Okay, you can use the questions to be answered by using small data sets, practice the files, and then let me know about it. Okay, so no problem. You can start practicing one by one so that it is easy to answer all the questions. So it starts from very basic to advanced level of questions. Okay, once you got the project, try answering all those things. Okay, so that it is easy for you to keep in touch. And as I said earlier, this is completely like a max only. Okay, so if you skip a 2 to 3 days, definitely it is getting forgotten. Okay, so make sure practice is more important in this place. Fine. Okay, so we can wind up this day 6 and tomorrow will be the last day. So we are going to see completely about a power pivot and then data modeling. And then we are going with a VBA macros coding that we are going to see it. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye-bye. We'll meet tomorrow.